This video is an ad for the LEGO group. Well, that's terrifying. The Storm King has invaded LEGO Fortnite and is plotting to destroy this very world as we know it. And as your handsome, charismatic, charming protagonist, I have been tasked with, stopping him from destroying the world. Now, that already sounds hard because he's the Storm King and I'm, well, me. But this is going to be made much harder because I have exactly zero LEGO Fortnite experience. So please enjoy watching me play the next 100 days in LEGO Fortnite Odyssey, which you can download to play for yourself for free in the description. Anyways, I'm going to spawn in now. I appeared in the world holding a dagger and I sure looked like I wasn't afraid of using it. Anyways, I looked around for a second and I noticed what appeared to be an NPC running around nearby, so I came closer to investigate. Whoa, who's this? Storm Survivor Camp? Eventually, the NPC ran up to me to greet me, so I asked a few questions to get started with. Who are you? I'm Trace. I came here to find safe from the storm. How about this? You help me start a camp, and I'll teach you what I know about survival and crafting. Yeah, sounds good to me. We need resources. No dip. Plenty of wood lying around. 6 pieces should get us started. I'm on it. Since I didn't exactly know what I was doing on my own, I proceeded to help Trace out, so I collected the wood I found laying around. I have 5 wood. Okay, I need 1 more wood. Man, you're slacking on the job. You're not even doing anything. Okay, got the wood. Trace immediately hopped off the slacking bench and ran up to me with pure excitement. In order to survive, we'll need tools and weapons. To make those, we need a crafting bench. As shown in the little tutorial, I pressed Q to open the build menu, and I first selected the crafting bench. I'm assuming this is where I'm gonna be, living. I gotta make this look nice. Can I rotate it? I placed the crafting bench down and I asked Trace for the next steps. With this crafting bench, I could start crafting wooden tools, the first being a wooden axe. And to make one, I would need to get 3 wood for the axe head and 2 for the handle. I need to go get more wood. So I collected a couple pieces of wood off the floor before getting slightly distracted. Oh, there's sheep. Hello, pet. What? Oh, they just dropped wool? I bet I'm gonna need this. But not right now, so I returned to getting the last few pieces of wood before coming back to my crafting bench to actually make the axe. Craft, you gotta hold it. We made an axe. With my first tool officially crafted, I spoke with Trace again to get briefed on the next steps. Track recipes, just go through codex. Okay, so that's like engrams from Ark. I opened up my inventory and navigated over to the codex section where I found a torch. I clicked track, which actually displayed all the necessary crafting resources on my screen. Okay, I need 3 wood. Let's go test out this axe on a tree. Oh, sure, I'll just use it on this one. I don't think it's giving me any wood. Do I have to chop it all the way down? Oh yeah, and then I'll just... Okay, sweet. With the wood acquired, I just had to figure out where to get the vines from. Where would a man get vines? Looking into my inventory, I noticed that I already had 3 vines, so I read their short description that said, often found in bushes and small plants. Okay, so I'm just gonna harvest bushes, looks like. Oh, okay. You can just smack them and they'll drop it. With plenty of vines now in my possession, I opened up the crafting bench again and made myself a torch. I also learned that I could create tools using different materials, and depending on the materials used or the weapon or tool, they would have different abilities. Anyhow, I was ready to upgrade my village for the first time, so I pressed the upgrade on the survivor camp and then spoke to Trace once again. Hi, what do you want? Okay, more words to live by, don't get too hungry. I basically got advised to try the raspberries that grew around the camp, and I already had some in my inventory, so I consumed a few. Is this green bar in the top, the green circle, is that what I'm looking at? Yeah, okay, that's my hunger bar. Now that I knew how to keep myself from starving, it's time to discover more structures. Workstations can turn raw resources into refined materials. So just a forge, basically. Wooden... Oh, not a forge. Okay. I'll be able to build a lumber mill. Okay. At first, I was a bit confused on what I actually had to do, so I looked through my inventory and then the codex. But then I realized I was actually tasked with building a new structure. So I opened up the build menu and there I found the lumber mill. Okay, I need a ton of wood. I ran over to one of those bigger trees and I whacked it until the top fell apart. Oh! Can I harvest this more? Oh, yeah. Okay. And I could also break the tree trunk for some extra wood. Yeah. Oh, you can harvest like everything. This is cool. I like this, dude. This farming mechanic is honestly better than Ark. After dropping another tree, I noticed an interesting structure ahead of me, so I came closer to check it out. As I got closer, another NPC appeared right in front of me. Fast travel? Oh. And it turns out this was just a bus station used for fast traveling around the map. You could choose where you wanted to go and where you would be transported to via the battle bus, kind of like in Fortnite. Wait. This is Fortnite. Don't forget the thing. Alright. That's cool. Anyways, I had all the wood for the mill, so I ran back to camp and I constructed one right next to my crafting bench. Right there. Trace also came over to me again and taught me a quick lesson about dodging. By pressing control, I could do a little somersault and dodge incoming attacks. After listening to Trace yap for a few seconds, I was tasked with killing a wolf, as apparently I could craft a pickaxe from its claws. Go out there and hunt out. You're sending me out to hunt? Dude, I just spawned, bro. If I die, that's spawn killing. Okay. I guess we're going hunting. I whipped out my torch and began looking for a wolf. Trace also mentioned that they were quite common here in the grasslands, and that I should listen for their howls to find them. Soon enough, I actually spotted one up ahead, or I thought it was a wolf at least. Oh, that's gotta be one. That thing looks huge. Dude, that is not a wolf. Maybe it is. Ow. That guy took all my health away. I'm out. No. But the wolf didn't let that slide so easily. It started creeping up me while I was running for my life. He's chasing me. Oh my god. Thankfully, I made it back to the camp in one piece, and I knew that the raspberries could heal me back up. So I picked up a few of those from the bushes and filled my health bar all the way back up. Okay, back to full health. I mean, it would be nice if Trace would help me. I ran back towards the battle bus station, and I noticed a group of wolves hanging out in the forest behind it. Yeah, that's a wolf. Hello. This thing's kind of terrifying. I dropped 4 wolf claws, so I started heading back to camp to report the great news to Trace. I also grabbed a few pumpkins and raspberries while at it. Hey. Back. Following Trace's instructions, I crafted wooden rods on the lumber mill and then brought those over to the crafting bench to finally make the pickaxe. And completing that mission also allowed me to upgrade the village once again. My next objective was to get a hold of advanced materials. I first had to farm up 35 granite to make a stone breaker, which then can be used to refine stone. I wasn't exactly sure which nodes were granite though, so I broke a rock right next to camp to test it out. Oh, that is granite. Armed with this knowledge, I went out to farm a few more of these rocks until I had the necessary 35 granite. Alright, got all the granite that I need. Ooh, level up. Back at camp, I looked at the stone breaker and noticed that I had to get 20 planks as well, so I hopped back on the lumberjack duty and I dropped a few more trees just before the end of day 1. On day 2, I threw the necessary 20 wood into the lumber mill and I started converting it into planks. All the planks crafted. After placing the stone breaker down, Trace taught me how to make uncommon tools. I first had to refine the granite into slabs using the stone breaker, and combining those with a wooden rod, I can craft an uncommon sword. So I threw all the granite that I had left into the stone breaker and I chopped down a tree for some more wood that I then turned into rods. And with the new materials, I headed back to the crafting bench and I constructed said uncommon sword. Oh yeah, new sword, who dis? I reported this great achievement to Trace, of course. One last upgrade to the village square and you'll be ready to set off on an adventure on your own. A great builder, you should start a village yourself. I bet it could even be bigger. Oh, I don't even get to live here? He's kicking me out? After all I've done? Devastated that I had no other option but to upgrade the village for the last time and say my goodbyes to Trace. But then another guy appeared behind me and he told me something about the Storm King and their group that's dedicated to taking him down, and he also invited me to join them at their base camp. Yeah, I want to join up. I opened up my map and looked for the camp, and from my little radar up top, I could see that it was 800 meters away from here. Bet I could use the battle bus thing to travel. So I ran up to the station and looked into the menu, but I quickly realized I probably couldn't just fast travel yet. Oh wait, I bet I gotta unlock new destinations where I can fast travel. That being said, running was my only option. But first, I actually wanted to put my new sword to the test. I saw a wolf marker nearby, so I went closer to it. Oh my god, never mind. That's like the bone wolf thing that nearly killed me. I also noticed that my hunger bar was getting a bit low, so I munched down on a few raspberries before heading out to that storm chaser camp. And during my little hike, I came across a skeleton, the perfect opportunity to test my new sword out. Oh, you want the smoke? Who are you, bro? Safe to say, my sword does work as intended. When fighting one enemy at a time, that is. Oh my god. There's a whole gang. I avoided the bigger groups of skeletons for now and continued heading towards the camp. I did, however, come across another skeleton holding a pickaxe this time. And if I kill it, can I have it? The answer was no. Anyhow, I soon arrived at the Storm Chaser camp, so I ran in and started introducing myself to the locals. A mysterious man called Carl Ruckus came up to me and he gave me a little gift of 3 copper, as well as a quick rundown on my next mission. I was basically tasked with upgrading the camp's defenses using cannons, but to make those, I would first have to make a metal smelter using 3 blast cores, which that would need 3 blast cores, which I'm sure that I have to get. He also said that there were pirates and bandits in the area which dropped blast powder, and studying it would also teach me how to make a cannon. So I wasn't exactly sure on how I would get blast cores, but I went out to explore the surrounding area a bit. Not getting a description of these blast cores make this a lot harder. You know what? I bet I could talk to that guy more. I ran back to camp and talked to Carl again, but he didn't have anything for me that I didn't already hear. So looking back into my journal, it said that I could obtain blast cores from a creature called a blaster. Those apparently spawn in caves, so I started looking around for one in the desert. Oh my god, okay, that's a blaster. Apparently they blow up. Oh, man, get away from me. As I expected, the blaster charged at me and exploded, dropping the first blast core. I continued looking for these exploding crab looking things, but I came across something a bit different. Okay, is this crab thing a blaster? No, it's just a looking crab boy. Oh, that wants to smoke. That wants us. Oh my god. Don't roll up on me like that, ever. I continued looking for the blasters, and thankfully they were quite easy to come by as they noticed me before I can notice them. Yep. Just keep running. Oh my god, it's catching up. That's 2 blast cores out of 3, and it didn't take me too long to find a third and final blaster as well. Okay, last one. While running away from it, I wasn't exactly paying attention to where I was going, and I ended up running into a cactus. Oh, I'm cooked. Oh, I barely survived that. Piggies. Anyways, that's all 3 blast cores acquired. So I ate a few pumpkins to heal back up to full health, and I started heading back to camp. While running back on day 3, I came across the pirates that Carl was talking about. Oh my god. Why is everyone angry here? Oh, it's another. Man, I already got 3. Oh my god! Since the blaster was persistent on chasing me down and exploding, I came back to grab the free loot it donated to me. Finally, once back at camp, I pulled out the build menu and looked at the metal smelter. I had to get 35 granite slabs to make the smelter, so I would first have to construct yet another stone breaker and a lumber mill again. I got kicked out of my own place. This is so stupid. Unless you guys have one, which, yeah, you do. Pretty broke. I did have all the necessary tools already on me though, so I got to work straight away. I chopped down a few trees and then returned back to construct a lumber mill. I also wanted to upgrade my axe using better materials, so I made a crafting bench. Can I make a bone axe? I went outside to test out my new bone axe, and while chopping through a bigger tree, I got ambushed by an ox.
Hello.
Oh, who are you? Where's your health bar at? Oh. And you got disassembled. After gathering the rest of the tree, I mined a bunch of granite and I collected a few raspberries as well. Back at camp, I threw the 20 wood into the lumber mill and I started the conversion process to planks. Seeing that I would be in need of more granite, I wanted to upgrade my pickaxe as well. The granite pickaxe looked like it was a worthwhile upgrade, so I waited for all the planks to finish crafting and then I slapped down a new stone breaker. And since I want to upgrade my pickaxe and make the metal smelter as well, I had to farm up a bunch of granite. And while out and about farming, I got attacked by some small spider looking thing. Who are you? And my farming session was cut short as my pickaxe broke before I could harvest the next rock. So I ran back to camp where I then fired up the stone breaker and threw all my granite into it. Yeah, so I'm looking at the stuff up here. So you can see the granite one, it's an uncommon one. It just has better durability, which is all I'm looking for right now. I was, however, missing wolf claws, so I had to go out and get me a few of those. Alright, well, that's cooking up. Let's go hunt a wolf. I ran back into the grasslands, and it didn't take me too long to actually find a couple. I'll probably do it once. Got it, okay. Might as well kill this other. I did get a bit hurt during the fight, so I stuffed my health back up with a couple of pumpkins and raspberries. Running back to camp, I dropped my old wood axe and I collected some pumpkins to keep myself stocked, as they were really good at healing me back up. Back at camp, I grabbed the granite slabs and brought them to the crafting bench, and I finally crafted the granite pickaxe. And I also decided to upgrade my axe to granite as well, since the bone axe was of common rarity and it was kind of trash. Anyways, I also made a couple of wooden rods, and then finally the axe was mine. I should make a granite sword as well. I kind of forgot the sword that I already had was granite to begin with though, so I accidentally made another one. Sir, we out here. Wait. Oh my god, I already had one. Anyhow, with my new tool set, I was ready to set out and farm again. And I first tested out my chunky new pickaxe. Oh yeah, this harvest quicker. This is nice. I broke a couple of rocks that gave me enough granite for the metal smelter, so I ran back to camp again to convert it to slabs. Yeah, I'm just waiting for more granite slabs. While waiting, I had to look through some of the upcoming missions, one of which was making a rare sword, but more importantly, building my own village. I definitely want my own village. It was definitely on the bucket list of things to do, but for now, I just had to stick with these storm chasers. Once enough slabs were finally finished crafting, I placed down the metal smelter. And before I even had a chance to turn around, Carl appeared right behind me telling me that it was now time to make a cannon. After a bit of head scratching, I looked at my journal and saw that I had to mine up copper found in caves. How do I get blast powder again? Alright. Let me go try and kill some bandits or something. I think that's what I need to do to get blast powder. While looking for said bandits, I came across something much scarier. What is that? I am nowhere near high level enough to fight that. I thankfully lost a giant, but I ran into another scuffle just up the hill. You guys drop blast powder? I killed the first 2 rift dudes, then got shot by the third one, so I tactically retreated to heal up. But this purple guy had a few tricks up his sleeve. What? He just rifted. That rift didn't save him though, so I packed them up. But these weren't the bandits I was looking for, so I continued the search back to the grasslands. Then I came across what looked like an abandoned camp, but it was actually occupied by more of those rift dudes. And one of the guards actually got attacked by a bone wolf, so I ran around to the other side of the camp where I then noticed a chest up in one of the torn down houses. Is that a chest? While the purple rift guys were distracted by the bone wolf, I entered sneak mode to try and get the chest. However, one of them noticed me, so I had to strike. With my cover now blown, I rushed at the other rift guy, but he teleported away. I then used the little window of opportunity I had to go up there and open the chest, but I couldn't grab everything it dropped. Oh, I unlocked the cannonball. But I was also unfortunate enough to get caught in the crossfire, and I got bit by the bone wolf, sending me to just a fraction of a heart. I quickly picked up a couple of pumpkins off the floor and started running back to camp. That was a war zone, dude. Back at the safety of the storm chaser camp, I looked through the stuff I unlocked, and after looking into the build menu, I also had the cannon. Yes! Yes! I used the 3 copper ingots that Carl generously provided me with to smelt them in the copper bars. And while that was smelting, I crafted 4 cannonballs, and once the forge was finally done with my 3 copper bars, I placed down the cannon just outside the camp's gate. Finally. I'm gonna load the cannonballs into it as well. Oh, it makes a bunch at a time. The camp was also ready to be upgraded, so I headed over to the village square and upgraded it. Carl then gave me a rundown on fighting. He basically told me to experiment with different weaponry. He recommended that I start off with a crossbow, so I ran over to the crafting bench to see what I would need to make one. Okay, so I'm gonna need more copper. I then ventured over to my codex to see where I would actually find copper, and turns out the only way to get it was to mine it up in caves. Oh my god, I gotta go in caves? There were plenty of caves highlighted on the map, so I chose the closest one to my camp. Cave. Enter cave. Whoa. After that little animation, I popped out on the inside of the cave and I started exploring. I was mainly in search of copper, but I also wanted to see what else I could find down here. I smacked up one of those white looking rocks, and that one dropped marble. And going a bit deeper, I came across a bunch of chests that contained some interesting loot. One of them provided me with a rare dagger, and the others just had some resources, but I took them as well, as I'll most likely need them later on. I then checked out the rest of the cave, but I didn't see any different rocks than marble and granite, so I decided to do a little bit of research. Okay, so apparently copper's only in like the desert caves. I need a rare pickaxe to actually be able to harvest the copper. The copper's in lava caves, which are hot. So I need stuff to cool me down, which I think you get milk from cows, some type of snowberry or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm gonna head back to base, see if I can't make a rare pickaxe. Back at my crafting bench, I looked through all the materials, but the only rare one was copper itself. Surely not. Maybe I lied about the pickaxe part. So I had to go and actually try to mine copper with my current pickaxe. But entering said caves, I first had to find something to cool me off. So I headed out to find a colder biome, one that could provide me with those snowberries. Okay, snow is a long journey ahead. Eventually, I arrived at the Frostlands, so I ran out to the closest bushes I could find, and I picked a few of the chillberries from them. Back over at the grasslands, I came across a small group of cows, so I pet them for their milk. Okay, I got the milk, I got chillberries. I think I need like a potion thing now. To make said potion, I would first have to make a so-called juicer. Oh, there it is. That's the juicer. Plank, granite slab, wooden rod. Okay, I can make that. Beddington. Running back to camp on day 5, I ran into another one of those big monsters. It's coming towards me. I just want the milk. This is a nightmare. It's raining. Oh my god, he's cracked. Why is he so fast? After clapping that skeleton, I also aggroed a bone wolf, so I legged it out of there. Thankfully, I made it back to camp unharmed, so I looked into making that juicer. I first had to craft 5 wooden rods, and I then threw all my granite into the stone breaker. Once the rods were finished crafting, I made all the planks as well. Juicer. I placed it down next to my lumber mill, and I made a few of those chillberry shakes that would keep me cool enough inside the desert caves. Oh, it makes a bunch of them. Now that I was ready to venture into those caves, I headed out to the nearest one that I already discovered on my map. I did run into a bit of a stall while running over, but nothing serious. Back to the lobby, buddy. Swimming across the river, I came across another small group of cows. So I first disassembled another wolf that ran up on me, and I pet the cows for their milk. Soon enough, I found the cave's entrance, so I jumped right down into it, and I was immediately overheating inside. So I drank up one of those chillberry shakes. Anyways, I found what I assumed to be copper on the cave's wall, so I started smacking it, but my worries turned out to be true. No, yeah, I can't harvest it. What? How do I harvest it then? If I can't get a rare one is a copper pickaxe, but I can't get copper. So I returned back to camp, and after a bit of head scratching and research, I found that I actually had to get a different resource from the top of these mountains in the desert. I gotta look at the top of the mountains. That might be it. It said I'd have to build up. I had to kill another one of those crabs, and I started building stairs towards up one of the hills. And night quickly took over the sky, and it became really cold, so I munched down on a chili to keep me warm. This is so cursed. Once I was at the right elevation, I switched using these thin floor pieces. I was trying to get across, but it wasn't really effective. I switched back to the stairs on day 6, and I finally made it across these interesting looking nodes. Obsidian. Maybe I can use this to make a pickaxe. I mined up the rest of the nodes, and I ran back to camp to see what I could do. Nope, I think I need that amber stuff. Turns out these nodes weren't what I set out for. Instead, I was looking for some sort of yellow crystals. And like, there ain't none of that yellow crystal. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't even sure if what I was looking for existed, as this tutorial I was following was over a year old now. So I ran back to camp and looked through the building menu once again. I now wanted to make a storage box to store some of my loot in, as my inventory is getting a bit full. I made 6 planks at the lumber mill for the small chest, but then I also noticed that I can make a medium chest, so I placed one of those down instead.
Why didn't make the small one?
I filled the chest up with the resources that I probably wouldn't need right now, and I did a bit more research.
Yeah, I'm just gonna research and try and figure out how to get a rare pickaxe.
On day 7, I started converting the obsidian that I had into slabs, as I actually wanted to try and make an obsidian pickaxe.
Copper. I'm pretty sure the obsidian pickaxe is what I needed to actually be able to harvest copper. I'm not 100% certain, but this is my best lead right now.
Heading over to the crafting bench, I made the head out of obsidian as planned and the handle out of flexwood rods.
Boom, okay.
I pulled out my torch and I ran all the way back to the lava cave once again.
Oh, it ain't that deep, gang. Just wanna go in the cave.
I then popped another chillberry juice and I walked up to the copper nodes again. I smacked them, but I still couldn't actually break them. So I explored a bit more of the cave, and I also killed a couple more of the locals, and I tried mining a different cluster of those red crystal looking things.
I don't think that's copper. Those look like gems. I think I need to find a new cave. That might be my problem.
I exited the cave and started looking for another one, but I also ran into one of those bone wolves again, but this time I didn't run away like a coward. I pulled out my sword and started swinging. Killing it dropped 4 wolf claws as usual, but I also got a cursed bone from it, which would come in handy in just a moment. Anyways, I noticed a rift open up above me in the sky, and something started to fall down from it.
Whoa, what is that?
Curiosity got the best of me, so of course I went over to investigate. Just as I anticipated, it was a supply drop, so I opened it and got a few interesting resources from it.
Not much, honestly.
Eventually, I ran into another cave, and I almost got pushed in by one of those crab-looking things, so I packed it up before heading inside. I then found the chest not too far from the entrance inside, and I actually got 8 copper, which was more than enough to craft a pickaxe with. Even better than that, I also discovered these new nodes that actually look like copper, and sure enough, I could break them with my obsidian pickaxe, and it dropped a single piece of copper. I did have to go AFK for a second though, and when I came back to my PC, I found myself dead. I'm pretty sure I was just taking a leak or something. Anyways, while I was gone, a couple of skeleton boys ran up on me and clapped me. They knew that that was the only way they could defeat me, if I wasn't at my computer at all. Anyways, I respawned all the way in the starting area, but at least I could pick up a bunch of those raspberries and pumpkins off the floor. I tried using the battle bus station to get back to camp, but I couldn't fast travel there yet though, so running back on foot it was. Back at base on day 8, I started smelting all the copper that I had on me, and I grabbed 5 of the copper bars to make a crossbow. To make a drawstring for it though, I first had to make a spinning wheel, which is a new structure that I'm yet to make. So I turned some of my wood into planks and rods, and I then used them to make said spinning wheel. Inside, I crafted a drawstring from the 5 cord that I had. With that crafted, I brought it all over to the crafting bench and finally made myself a copper crossbow. Carl instantly appeared right behind me as he usually does and told me about the next structure that I would need to get my hands on, being the rune forge. Remember that cursed bone I got from a bone wolf earlier? Now was the time that I would need those. To make a rune forge, I would need 4 cursed bones, some granite slabs, and glass which I could refine from sand inside the metal smelter. On a side note though, my crossbow also needs some arrows to actually shoot, and looking at the crafting recipe, I needed to acquire feathers. I had a quick look into my chest where I did find a single feather, but I also found 45 whole arrows in there, and I went just outside camp to test out my new piece of technology when I stumbled onto a few chickens. I pet one of them hoping it would give me a feather, but it's not exactly what it dropped. Instead, it pooped out an egg for me, so I decided to do the following. And since killing them dropped feathers, and I don't like to leave witnesses behind, I also pieced up the other 2 chickens. My main goal at the moment was to get those 4 cursed bones, so I went out looking for the bone wolves. However, I also killed any chickens and any other critters that wanted to smoke. As the sun went down, I actually found all 3 of the remaining bone wolves, and I tried my new crossbow on them. It turned out to be quite effective at taking them out. With all 4 cursed bones acquired, I returned back to camp on day 9.
This crossbow's crazy. I really wish I had one earlier.
Anyways, back to the rune forge. I fired up my stonebreaker again to produce me some granite slabs, and I then looked into my resource inventory to see how I could get more sand for glass.
Really threw a shovel.
I crafted one using granite and I tested it out on the ground inside the camp.
Oh, you can just dig. Okay, soil. Yeah, you just dig and get sand. Sweet. And then I've also been killing these chickens whenever I see them, just to get the feathers for more arrows. It's safe to say I will be using a crossbow as my main weapon.
Yeah, it wasn't looking too good for these chickens. Anyways, I brought the sand back to my metal smelter and I turned it into glass. I now just needed a bit more sand, so I went back out to gather it. And that may or may not have also included me killing a few more chickens that I found. Finally, with enough glass made, I grabbed the granite slabs as well and I placed down the rune forge.
Where's my guy? Oh yeah, he's coming up. Choose any weapon and apply a rune. I'm definitely doing the crossbow.
And the runes were kind of similar to like the Minecraft enchanting system. I clicked roll and it showed me 3 random runes I can engrave onto my crossbow.
Oh, the essence okay, that makes sense. It's like experience, kind of. I'm definitely doing the durability.
After engraving that rune into my crossbow, I talked to Carl once again.
Defend the base camp. Oh!
Our base got attacked by a few of those rift dudes, but they stood no chance against my crossbow. They all got sent back to the lobby with a single arrow. With that pathetic ambush over, I walked back over to Carl to speak to him once again. And he told me to speak to some doctor that was at the base, and the base was actually ready to be upgraded once again. So I clicked the upgrade button and then spoke to him. This time she gave me some sort of a gift, and he said something about building a vehicle. As instructed, I came up to Coop, who was apparently the leader of the storm chasers, and she gave me a small gift as well to get me started on said vehicle. I figured this hologram in the middle of my little crafting station would be the next objective, as it was a small car jack and a vehicle base. To construct it though, I would need some granite and wooden rods. But before doing any of that, I had to sort out my inventory a bit and make some more space. I crafted a bunch of planks and I lined 4 extra chests that I crafted next to one another in front of one of the houses. After clearing out my inventory a bit, I decided to craft up a bunch more arrows with all the feathers that I gathered.
Got some more arrows. Oh my, okay, that makes sense. They craft a ton of arrows. I thought they crafted one at a time. So I have 169 arrows now. Okay. That's nice to know.
Anyhow, back to the car thingy. I made a few marble slabs, but quickly realized that's not what I needed for the vehicle base.
Oh, I need a car jack. Oh, granite.
Since I turned all my granite into slabs, I had to go out and smack up a rock. Now, with 5 granite acquired, I returned and placed down the vehicle base. My next objective on day 10 was to make an oven. For that, I would need something called bright core that I could find in lava caves. I had to go back there and mine up a bunch more copper as well because I wanted to upgrade all my tools to copper. Heading towards the cave, I stumbled into a rift dude surrounded by resources. So I domed him and grabbed all the free stuff lying on the ground.
All this.
And speaking of free things,
oh, I'm not gonna pass up on free resources.
What I didn't appreciate were these rolling crabs pulling up on me, so I introduced them to my Glock. Anyways, I killed a bunch of the other dudes just in front of the cave and then headed in. I was greeted by a group of those pesky skeleton boys straight away, so I avenged my past AFK death by sending them all back to the lobby. And they also dropped bright core that I will need for the oven. I also found another large chest inside, which got me a bunch of obsidian and wood. Continuing the expedition through the cave, I had to fight my way through a few more skelly boys, and I may not have found any copper nodes, but there were some waiting for me inside the chest at the back of the cave.
There's some from a chest. Looks like I gotta go to a different cave. I thought this was the one I was at last time.
There was also another cave really close by, so I ran over to that and jumped in. This was in fact the same cave that I've been to, but there was a blaster waiting for me blocking the nodes. So I first had to wait for him to explode, and then I could get to mining up all the copper.
Hey there.
Going down deeper, I killed a skeleton wielding a crossbow, and he actually dropped it as an item.
Oh, glass crossbow? Hold up. Look, I need that.
I got rid of the other skeletons, healed up, and grabbed the glass crossbow, but looking at his stats, I was a bit disappointed.
No, okay, it's not that good.
I spotted more copper in the back of the cave, so I fought my way through to it. I also opened the chest that had a bit more copper for me. After harvesting the copper from the wall, I placed down a few stairs to build up to an otherwise inaccessible part of the cave.
This is so sketch.
There was also a chest waiting for me up there with 11 copper, so it was definitely worth the risk.
How much copper is that? 45? Sir.
The journey back home was definitely not one without conflict though, but I fought my way through and returned back in one piece. I then threw the copper into smelt along with all the wood I had before the end of the day. On day 11, I stored my old tools away as I was about to craft an all copper set instead.
Sword, dude. Copper sword? That's what I'm talking about.
I also made the axe and a pickaxe, but I ran out of wood in the smelter, so it was time for me to test out my new copper tools.
God, dude, this thing is huge.
But it was really good at chopping down trees.
Wait, so can I put runes on these tools as well? With the essence that I have?
Turns out I could, so I put the durability rune on all 3 of them.
Oh yeah, and they look like enchanted. That's cool.
I also noticed that I had a ton of raw meat from all the chickens that I've killed, so I wanted to cook it. I looked through the build menu and then I found the grill and crafted 6 planks and a torch. I chopped down another tree and then made the rest of the planks.
Grill.
With the grill constructed, I threw all the meat into it and then looked back at my main objectives. I still had to finish crafting the vehicle, so I placed down the first 2 side bumpers and then the front and rear. Next up, I had to place another 2 side bumpers on the rear, and I had to get metal plates for the other components.
How does a man get metal plates? Any ore? Okay, so if copper's in the desert, let's go see what's in like the grassland caves.
And I of course couldn't pass up on free feathers and meat, so I also chopped down a tree as I was slowly running out of wood as well. Anyhow, I made it into one of the grassland caves and there was actually copper waiting for me right at the entrance. And after mining that, I killed a few skelly boys and a blaster so I could open up all the chests. And from those alone, I got a really good amount of copper and marble. But speaking of marble, I wanted to mine up all the nodes around the cave, but some of them were not accessible by foot, so I had to build up to them.
Oh my god, you can snap. That makes stuff so much easier. Farming all this copper, dude. Screw an arc metal addiction. I have a Lego Fortnite copper addiction.
With most of the copper farmed and the chests looted, I decided to head back home on day 12. And once there, I crafted 5 wooden rods and placed down the vehicle railing. I also threw a bit of copper and wood into the smelter to turn it into metal plates so I could place the fenders down on the rear.
Aw, 3 each? Better be a good car, dude. It's expensive.
On a side note, I threw some more raw meat in the grill, and I ate one of the grilled ones, giving me an extra heart and a half.
This grilled meat's crazy. Okay, so I have extra hearts right now.
Anyhow, I placed the final fender down, and it was time to move on to the wheels and the lights. I threw some wood onto the mill to turn it into rods, and I then crafted another torch. I also needed 2 metal plates, so I made them and placed down the big wheel. The front 2 wheels were pretty cheap, just a wooden rod, some granite, and cords. Now, onto the lights. I still had some glass left over in my chest, so I grabbed it and placed down the 2 headlights as well.
Yes, sir.
For the final stage of the car, I had to place down a medium power center, the driver's seat, and then finally the thrusters.
Wooden rod and blast powder.
I also had some blast powder in one of my chests, so after the rods finished crafting, I placed down the 2 thrusters and finished the car.
I got a whip.
I couldn't drive it just yet though, as I was still missing, power. But that's a future problem for future me. So for now, I also had to make an oven, which wasn't cheap either.
God.
I already had all the granite to turn into slabs, so I threw all that into the stone breaker, and I then went out to farm wood in the meantime. Back at camp, I started smelting 15 copper and the metal plates.
Just waiting on the granite and metal plates to craft up. And I keep running into the stupid car. Oh!
Anyways, the plates and slabs finished crafting, so I finally slapped down the oven and leveled up the camp once again. I then spoke to Carl, and he gave me a gift which contained 2 power cells that I needed to start my whip. He then told me that I had to go out and investigate a storm. So without any questions, I hopped into my car and went out for a spin.
Wait, can I drift? I don't think I can drift.
Anyways, I parked the car back at camp and I started looking for the storm Carl was talking about. I ran up to the top of one of the hills so I could look around better, but I first had to take care of a few ops.
That's gotta be one all the way over there. I wanna know, so I wanna go over there, right? But I wanna know how to make more power cells, because I don't wanna get stranded with the car.
I ran back to camp and grabbed up one of the power cells to see how I could craft it.
50 biomass, 6 glass. Where do you get biomass from?
Well, I guess I'd have to figure that out soon. For now, I wanted to make a new crossbow as the one that I had was looking a bit rough in terms of durability. I was missing the cords for a drawstring though, so I grabbed some vines and threw them onto the spinning wheel. Now, with the drawstring made, I crafted another copper crossbow, and I put the durability room on it as well. I also wanted to make a spyglass, so I grabbed some sand from my chest and turned it into glass.
Spyglass. How does this work? Okay.
I then ran back up the hill and zoomed in onto that storm again.
That's a floating island. That's not a storm. No, maybe that is a storm. Yeah, okay, that's a storm. That's not a floating island. I think I got everything. Just head over there. Long journey ahead.
Since I didn't know how to make more batteries for the car, I decided to go there on foot. On day 14, I came across a little ruined camp that was still occupied for some reason.
What happened here? Oh, friendly? Nope, nope, not friendly. Not friendly. Why is nobody friendly in this world, dude?
Eventually, I arrived near the storm, so I looked at my objectives again.
This is looking very stormy. What do I have to do? Enter a storm. Storm bud planes keep damaging the chaser vehicles. They explode anytime I get near them. Clear them out. Collect 10 storm fruit. Okay. I can do that.
Before even entering the new biome, I already got introduced to one of its locals. It looked like one of the crabs from the desert, but it was way tankier and it could shoot some sort of projectile back at me. But killing it dropped the storm shell. Not exactly what I use it for yet, but I have it, I guess.
I am in the storm.
Going further, I came across the actual storm, and upon entering, an ominous timer appeared on top of my screen, and I was also slowly taking damage. I then killed some type of new enemy in there, but I had to get out of there.
Oh no, it's draining my health.
While looking at my objectives, I got attacked by another one of the storm crab things, but after killing it, I actually found one of the things that I was looking for, being the storm fruits. I collected a couple of them, but quickly realized that it didn't count.
Inside of a storm? Are you kidding? I think you eat the storm fruit to not die to the storm. Oh, this is one of these things that I gotta pop. Oh my god.
So I put my hypothesis to the test. I ate one of the fruits and ran into the storm again, but I was still taking damage. That left me with no other option but to scout out the area first from the outside and then run in and try to get all the storm fruits I could find.
Got all of them.
Now for the second objective, popping those little storm buds. While looking for them, I ran into a few skelly boys and 2 of which started throwing dynamite at me.
You throw dynamite at me? Brother. If I hear a single comment or see a single comment about my aim, you're getting banned. Man, I can't find any more of those balls.
Eventually, I spotted one inside the storm, so I ran in there and popped it with my crossbow, completing the mission.
Oh, I did it. Pop 5? I only had to pop 1.
With my storm investigation completed, I headed back to camp at the end of the day. Unfortunately, I forgot to press record as I came back to base, and I talked to Carl, but in short, he gave me a few eyes of the storm and then sent me out on another mission to acquire Durasteel from a rebel outpost, whatever that is. So anyways, I found myself at the bus station on day 15, and I traveled to the rebel outpost.
Oh.
I thanked the driver, jumped out, and I landed just below the outpost.
Oh yeah. Dude, they're Star Wars guys?
They didn't have much health, and after killing one of them, the entire gang pulled up on me.
And they're sounding the alarms are. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's a miracle none of them had hit me yet.
Yeah, let's be honest, that's not a miracle. Stormtroopers are notorious for having the worst aim in existence.
Dude, their aim is worse than mine.
They retreated for a sec just to rush back out at me, and I slowly but surely took them out one by one.
Oh! Ah! I'm cooked.
I managed to distance myself a bit and fill my health bar back up with grilled meat. I then killed 3 of these stormtroopers and went closer to the camp. There were more enemies waiting for me inside, but they were still oblivious to my existence. So I pulled out my pickaxe and started smacking up these storage looking things, and they gave me the Duracell that I needed. So after that, I finished off the remaining stormtroopers so I could salvage the rest of their belongings for Duracell. I also broke a chest that dropped me an iron pickaxe, and my inventory was a bit full though, so I had to drop some wood for it. I then broke down all the other structures that dropped Duracell, and then headed back home to the bus station. After arriving back, I started jumping out of the bus a bit early and flew back towards the Storm Chaser camp. Now, back home, I cleared out my inventory a bit and I dropped my crossbow as it was about to break. Now, to make a new one, I threw 25 vines into the spinning wheel and I stoked to Dr. B. I don't know how to say her name. Anyway, she gave me a compass that would help me locate storms from now on.
Dude, this map is huge.
Anyways, I had one more objective to complete before I could upgrade the village again, and that was to make meat pies.
Flour, meat, egg. Let's see what I got. I have the flour. Probably don't have any eggs since I kind of just kill chickens on site.
That being said, I went out to look for chickens again. This time, I pet them to get their eggs before, well, killing them. Back at camp on day 16, I made the 3 necessary meat pies, and then I leveled up the camp.
Sweet. Craft an epic sword. Boy, do I want to craft an epic sword. Craft an epic sword. Oh yeah, I meant to get gems in the desert cave. I never went back for those.
Anyhow, I made a new drawstring, and as I was about to craft a new crossbow, but since I was already going out to get better materials, I decided to wait and see if I could make an epic crossbow as well. After arriving at the cave, I had to pop a chillberry juice and use my copper pickaxe so I could finally harvest those crystals.
Rough rubies. I'm gonna harvest all these boys.
Heading deeper into the cave, I fought my way through a few skelly boys and I mined another cluster of rubies.
I think that's all this cave has to offer. Oh, no. Oh, no, it's bigger.
I blew up a blaster and that killed another skeleton, and then I noticed some weird yellow crystal near the lava lake, so I built over to it and broke one of them.
What is this? Oh, it's that bright core. I don't think I need much of that. I'm not gonna risk my life for it.
I built to the next part of the cave and I noticed a massive chunk of copper on the ceiling.
Oh, bunch of copper up there. Yeah, I'm here for ruby though.
I most likely wouldn't need it, and I got all the rubies inside the cave already, so I decided to head out instead. After returning back to camp, I looked into the build menu as I was sure I would need some type of structures to refine the rubies in.
Yeah, gem cutter. I bet I'm gonna need that. Some metal plates, blast cores, and brute skills. Oh my god. I know what a brute is. It's one of those like monsters in the desert. Ooh, that's not gonna be fun to get.
So for the time being, I made another copper crossbow and I engraved it with a durability rune as usual. I then started smelting 20 more copper in the metal plates, and I went out to gather wood for more arrows. Back at base, I made a bunch of extra arrows and I waited for the plates to finish cooking. On day 17, I discovered a new attack that I'm yet to use.
Oh, you can do a jump attack.
It would probably come in handy when fighting those brutes, as well as a shield probably.
Oh, I should make a shield.
I also learned how those charms work. I noticed a little section in the inventory that had 3 spots for charms, so I grabbed the one that I had on my chest and put it on.
Charm. Oh yeah, it just straight up gives you more health. That's sick.
Anyways, once the metal plates finished crafting, I started smelting some copper ones so I could make a new shield.
Oh, you can craft charms here.
I threw some more copper into the smelter to make metal plates, and I grabbed the wool that I had lying around. I then turned it into wool thread on the spinning wheel. I also wanted to make a rare health charm and a good shield, but I didn't have enough bear pelt for both.
Oh no. But if I make that, I'm not gonna be able to make the. Okay, no, I want to make the charm rather than the shield. I need to get more bear pelt. I don't even remember killing a bear.
So for the time being, I made the health charm and it increased my total health by a considerable amount.
So I can craft 2 more of these at some point, and then just have a ton of health.
So with my health basically doubled now, I felt ready to go out and hunt down those brute things. And luckily, it didn't take me too long to actually find one.
Oh, there's one right there. That thing is terrifying.
But maybe I overestimated my chances of taking this thing down by just a little bit.
Oh my god, I am so. Oh my god.
I ran up my stairs that I built earlier and I started shooting at it from a safe distance.
Can't get me up here, bruh. Maybe it can get me up here. Oh my god, it has so much health.
Yeah, it was pretty safe to say that I definitely would have folded if I were to fight this thing face to face. After firing a bunch of arrows at it, it finally collapsed so I could go down there and retrieve my rewards.
Ouch. Okay, I got a brute scale.
1 scale down, 2 more to go. While looking for the brutes on day 18, I sliced up a few chickens for feathers and meat, and after a bit of searching, I found the second culprit.
Yes.
I built stairs up to a tall pillar so I could shoot down on it from the safety again, but this time the brute was too lazy to even move.
You ain't getting me up here, boy.
And just like that, brute number 2 was slain.
Back to the lobby, broski.
I noticed the cave just up ahead of me, so I decided to venture in before hunting down the last brute.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
After grabbing all the ruby, I headed to the back of the cave, where I was greeted by a couple of chests.
Copper? Probably farming.
And a bunch of copper nodes.
A ton of it.
But there's nothing like a quick smacking of these nodes to fulfill my addiction for copper. It was growing on me, so I made sure to grab all of it before going back up to the surface. I spotted a chest in a half-decayed house, so I opened up to see the loot inside. And while I was grabbing the contents, I noticed a wolf trying to sneak up on me.
Oh, hey there.
Anyways, I was back out looking for the last brute. Of course, I didn't pass up on any free meat walking around. On day 19, I came across another small outpost that had a chest up top guarded by a few rift dudes. I didn't want to use my crossbow to kill them, as I'd probably need all the durability I could get for the last brute. So I ran in with my sword and I pieced all of them up before going up to grab the well-deserved loot from the chest.
Iron sword, copper crossbow. Oh my god. Oh, there's more of them. They're fighting the chickens.
Finally, with the threat taken care of, I returned back to the loot. And seeing as my sword was basically broken already, I swapped it out for the new one. And I also noticed some bear pelt on the floor, so I made space in my inventory by dropping all the wolf claws that I had on me. I then also dropped all the bones and grabbed the iron pickaxe before continuing the search. Shortly after that, I found another chest. This one was thankfully not guarded by any hostiles, so I opened it up and I got a metal shield. I then put it in my offhand and moved on.
Oh, supply drop.
I killed a couple of chickens while waiting for it to land, and once it did, I opened it and got a new type of resource that I haven't seen yet.
Malachite? Okay, surely I can find another brute in the 1300 meters back to base.
And luckily, I did stumble into one.
Oh my god, I found one. Am I him or am I him, chat?
The only issue was that it was in the grassland, so I didn't have a tall pillar to build up to. The only rock I could get on was barely bigger than the brute itself, so I decided to bite the bullet and, just go for it.
Man, stay still.
Somehow the brute actually managed to hit me, so I decided to build up even higher. This, however, soon proved to be a fatal mistake.
Oh my god.
I started running for my life, and I tried to build up to another hill, but something else ended up screwing me.
Dude, my cat is attacking my mouse. Come on, speed build, speed build. No, cat! Cat! You're throwing for me, get off! No! Brody just grabbed my mouse. Stop! Oh my gosh. I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat my cat, bro. I'm gonna eat bro if he keeps throwing for me.
Just kidding, I would never dare to hurt little Maximus like that. But bro needs to stop attacking me while I'm in combat. Anyways, I somehow managed to get some distance on the brute, so I built up to another hill and healed back up a bit before continuing the fight. While shooting at it, I was also unfortunate enough to bear witness to a bone wolf getting absolutely slapped out of existence.
Oh my god, it just annihilated me.
And I soon followed as well.
Oh no! Are you kidding me? Oh my god, it killed me.
I'm gonna go ahead and blame that on my cat Maximus.
That was the most cursed fight. My cat was attacking my mouse. Kitty, you can't sit on my lap if you're gonna make me throw. Man, you stink. I can't believe I just died to that.
On day 20, I ran back to the spot at which I died, but the brute was nowhere to be seen.
You can't tell me that it's not here. No way, it's gone.
I started building up to the big rock again, but Maximus had different plans.
Stop! Get off my mouth. Holy. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna sell my cat. Who wants him? Who wants him? He keeps attacking my mouse.
But the brute was really gone, never to be seen again, so I had to find another one. But fortunately, I didn't have to travel too far to find the next one.
Oh my god, there's another one. How did he see me?
Once again, I tried to build up to a rock in peace, but this time a gang of pirates out of all things pulled up on me and they started shooting at me. So instead of going up to that rock, I decided to go down to the shore and grab the brute's attention. By using 100% of my brain power, I ran into the water and started swimming away. And it then tried to follow me, and that was its final mistake.
Drowned. God, I got what I needed.
Finally, with all 3 brute scales acquired, I could head back home and make a gem cutter. I made it back to camp on day 21.
Finally, dude, back at the crib.
I grabbed the 2 metal plates I was missing from the smelter and slapped down the gem cutter. I then threw all my rubies into it and threw some meat on the grill and sorted out my inventory in the meantime. Looking into the crafting bench, I can now craft ruby tools and weapons. However, they were a bit expensive.
God, yeah, I was right. You need a lot of rubies. I'm probably gonna have to go back out and do a bunch more mining.
I waited for the rubies to get refined, and I first made myself a ruby sword.
Boy, oh boy, ruby sword. Ha! This thing is huge.
Maybe it was a bit too soon to show off my new sword, as Carl immediately ran up to me to give me a new mission.
No, I'm not going deeper into the storm. You're crazy if you think I'm going into the storm, dude. I want more ruby tools is what I want.
Anyways, the ruby sword had 2 rune slots, so I put the durability rune on the first one and damage on the second. I also looked into making charms. Killing a brute unlocked the epic health charm, however, it was a bit expensive. 1 brute scale, some wool thread, and 5 cut amber. And I'm still yet to even find amber, and I'm not looking forward to killing brutes again. Anyways, I also had to make a ruby crossbow, of course, so I fired up the spinning wheel and I started making cords for a drawstring. And once those were done, I made the ruby crossbow and finally the pickaxe. pickaxe. I then made my way over to the rune forge and I engraved my crossbow with damage and durability. And then on my pickaxe, I went for the classic durability as well, but for the second one, I chose the luck rune, which should slightly increase the odds of resources dropping extra loot.
Sweet, dude. Alright, I want to get more of these charms. Where would a man get rough amber? I want these charms. I want like 3 of them. Get some crazy health. But that also means I'd have to kill a bunch more brutes.
Since I'm still yet to explore the snowy biome, I decided to head out there and find a cave. Perhaps I could get some amber in there. On my way over on day 22, I stumbled into a cave in the grasslands, so I hopped in there to check it out real quick. I was greeted by a single skelly boy, so I took the opportunity to try out my new ruby sword.
Ruby stuff does a lot of damage.
Anyways, I clapped a bunch of little scorpions and I started dissing the lack of loot inside the cave until I opened one of these chests.
Yeah, these grassland caves don't have much to offer besides the rough amber that I need. I'm thinking it'll be in the snow caves.
That being said, I headed back up to the surface and continued on my journey. I peddled a couple of sheep for their wool and I noticed something big up ahead of me.
What's that? I want to kill it. Oh, it's a bear.
I pulled out my torch so I wouldn't freeze and started shooting at it, as the pellet dropped was also part of the charm's crafting recipe.
This crossbow's crazy. This bear's stuck.
A few shots later, the bear crumbled into pieces and I got a single piece of pelt. And just a few seconds later, I came across an ice brute.
Oh, look, you need to kill it.
There was this one bridge-looking rock formation nearby, so I first built my staircase up to it, and then I went to grab the brute's attention.
Don't hit my wood. Oh my god.
The brute seemed a little bit shy at first and really didn't want to come closer, so I really had to mortar some of my shots in order to hit it.
Calm down. How bad can it be?
There was a small gang of dwarves waiting for me below my staircase, so I introduced them to my blade and then I rushed at the brute. It didn't really run at me, so I kinda just kept dodging its spit and shooting at it from a safe distance.
Got it.
There was also another bear snoozing right there, so I gave it a bit of a rude awakening.
Get up. I need your pelt.
It tried to swipe me, but unfortunately for the bear, I am him, so I dodged it perfectly and clapped it.
Back to the lobby, bro.
And I did find another bear while looking for a cave, but I decided to leave this one alone and just continue my expedition.
Where's a man find a cave around here?
I did run into a couple of these glowy wolves though. The first one I completely demolished, but I didn't have the same luck with the second one.
No. What? Holy, man.
After respawning, I had a quick chat with my friend Google, and turns out the amber actually spawns in the grassland caves. So I found another cave near the spawning area and headed back inside, and I instantly spotted what I was looking for.
This yellow stuff Loki might be it.
I built up to one of the clusters, and it was in fact rough amber, so I of course started mining it all up, until I accidentally broke my own floor.
Oh.
Anyhow, I got back up there and grabbed the rest of the amber before also checking out the chests.
No way, they just giving out ruby pickaxes like this.
And in another chest, I found a whole Glock.
That's interesting.
I exited the cave on day 23, and after petting a few sheep and killing a wolf that tried to sneak up on me, I found another grassland cave.
Ooh, another cave? You got me. You can't tell, I have a severe mining addiction.
Fortunately for me though, this cave was also filled with amber nodes, so I got to work mining them all up, as well as taking care of an occasional skeleton or two. Also, these grassland cave chests were proving to be absolutely goated in terms of loot.
Emerald crossbow? Holy crazy loot, bro.
I also found out I could kill blasters with my sword before they could blow up. But besides that, I cleaned out the amber nodes and looked around to see if I missed any loot and then headed out. Back at camp, I turned all the wool that I got into wool thread and then I threw all the amber into my gem cutter.
All of it. A baller like that.
On a side note, I was running a bit low on storage again, so I placed down 3 extra medium chests and sorted out all my stuff. Now, while waiting for the amber to be cut, I engraved my new emerald crossbow and pickaxe that I found in the caves.
Okay. Health charms. Yes, sir, bro. Tons of hearts.
Since I had a lot of amber, I looked through the different tools I could make, and it turns out amber was actually better for durability rather than ruby. And now I also had 100 copper, so I threw a stack into the smelter and then grabbed some cut amber to craft an axe with.
Max durability axe? That's what I'm talking about. Let's get some runes on this bad boy.
And I was also running a bit low on arrows now, so it was the perfect time to try my new axe. After that little wood farming session, I returned back to get the feathers for my chest, and I made a ton of arrows.
Oh yeah.
I also remembered that I found that flintlock pistol, so I tested it out.
Oh my god. I didn't know it came with ammo. I gotta go try this out. Hold up. Hello.
Turns out the pistol works.
Okay, I'm keeping that on me.
On day 24, I really wanted to get the other 2 epic health charms, meaning I'd have to go out and hunt down 2 more brutes.
Do I take the whip for a cruise? Surely. I'm gonna go look for brutes on the whip.
But the excitement quickly faded as the controls on the car were a bit awkward.
I don't know, dude. This thing's kind of hard to control. It might just be better off running.
So I headed out on foot again. It was only 2 brutes I had to find after all.
There. Might as well kill it, man.
Yeah, this one was definitely not happy about me awakening it, but I managed to dodge all of its attacks and sent it back to the lobby. And after just a bit more searching, I spotted the first brute.
Oh, yep, there's a brute.
But before engaging, I took a peek into this house and I saw a large chest just sitting there unattended.
Bro, you just handing this stuff out?
Anyhow, now onto the brute. I started shooting at it with my crossbow and backing away slowly until it rushed out at me.
This thing's pretty slow and clunky, actually. Not that bad to fight straight up. You're not winning this fight, broski.
Honestly, killing it this way is probably way easier and less stressful than trying to complicate things by building up to a rock.
Got him. Let's find one more.
I came across a tower-like structure, so I first took care of the skeletons around it and then walked inside to check it out.
Ooh, another one of these. I still don't know what this what I was saying is, I don't know what this malachite stuff is.
I ran to the top as well, and there was a second chest up there waiting for me. And inside this one, I found a new epic ore being sapphire. Going up a hill, I spotted yet another bear. And at first, I started shooting at it with my crossbow, but I also now wanted to try my sword out.
Crossbow is definitely so much better. I swear it's faster than a sword and does like double the damage.
Anyways, I killed one more bear and then found another tower. And looting it got me 2 more sapphire, and I soon came across the second brute just up the hill.
Oh, found it. Definitely getting better at fighting stuff.
With 2 brute scales now acquired, I headed back to base. While running back on day 25, I came across another bear, so you already know that I had to put it down to the pelt.
Back at the crib. Man, I need to upgrade this place. It's looking rough.
But before looking into that, I made 2 epic health charms and then sorted out my inventory.
Okay, what else structures can I make so I can, like, you know, upgrade this? Hold up, I can straight up make houses? What? But it looks so, like, rough.
Looking through the building parts, I can make the walls and stuff separately as well. Now, while in the building mood, I decided to try out a few shacks around the place to make it look more like an actual village.
They don't need to be that functional, it's just for looks.
So I dropped a couple of trees, selected the porch shack, and then I began construction beside the other shack.
Interesting building mechanic.
Instead of the whole house just appearing in front of me, you actually have to build it layer by layer, placing down all the walls, pillars, etc. It was definitely a unique approach to building in games, and honestly, I kinda dig it.
Yes, sir. We're gonna make this place look more like a village.
I looked through my build menu to see that I could make fences as well. I just needed some wooden rods, so I ran back to my lumber build to make some.
Let's see where this gets me.
I waited for them to finish crafting and then went back out to place down the few fences.
Oh, my area expands all the way over here. Sweet. Snap. Oh, you can just jump over it. Whatever.
But I quickly ran out of rods, so I'd have to farm up a bunch more wood if I want to surround the whole place.
It looks pretty good though. I dig it. And I can just put way more structures in here.
I threw a stack of wood onto the mill and then went out to farm more wood until the end of the day. And I started day 26 off by fencing off the front.
Sweet. You know what I could do? I could craft like another craft another one to go a lot faster.
Yeah, these fences weren't exactly cheap. I went back out to a small forest to stock up on wood. A bunch of trees later, I had around 180 wood, so I put 40 in each lumber mill, and I also constructed a small gate at the actual camp's entrance. Shortly after that, I finished the whole fence around the camp.
That's annoying. Perfect. Sweet. Okay, we got this enclosed. Maybe I throw up one more house.
There was plenty of space to work with, so I wanted to slap down one of those deluxe dog houses. I had to get a bit more wood for one though, so I chopped down a few more trees nearby. Coming back to camp, I discovered something quite comical.
Surely, I need to get in. Oh my god, I can fire myself. No, that's crazy.
Anyways, I ran back inside and I actually wanted to sort out my storage chest just a little bit better. I had exactly 16 amber for 4 chests, so I threw 8 copper into my smelter and then turned that into plates so I could craft exactly 4 amber chests.
It hurts to spend the amber on these chests. Okay, I gotta move the whip.
But while lining the chests up, I made a fatal mistake.
Oh no. Messed up the placement.
A rookie plunder, I know. It's unfortunate that you can't pick up recently placed structures down in this game, but whatever, it's not that deep. On day 27, I had to look at my main objectives again, and I was not looking forward to going into the storm again, honestly.
How am I supposed to survive in the storm? Let me do some research.
After a quick consultation with Google, I partially had my answers.
Okay, there's something called a storm charm. How does one unlock the storm charm? Okay, so I need stuff from the storm to make a storm charm.
But since I didn't have that unlocked yet, I basically had to tank the storm's damage. My best bet would be to make some food that would regenerate a lot of my health, but that would also be easy to farm. Luckily, the pumpkin pie perfectly fit that description. It only costed 1 pumpkin and 1 flour to make. Now, for the flour, I would have to place down a grain mill, so I went out to get some sand for sandstone. I then combined that with some granite in the stone breaker and finally got the sandstone. That's only one part of the solution, however. I still had to figure out how to get wheat grain, as that's what you need to actually craft the flour. Looking through the structures again, I found garden plots. Now I just had to figure out how to get the fertilizer for them.
Garden plot, definitely what I need. How does a man get fertilizer?
And to figure that out, I asked my friend Google, but apparently it was just as simple as standing around a few animals and, waiting for them to poop.
So let's go find some animals, I guess.
There was a sheep chilling just outside my fences, but I wanted a bigger group on day 28, so I headed out to the grasslands to find some animals. I also picked up any pumpkins I found on my way, as I'd be needing plenty of them.
Oh, that chest is back. So are these boys. Not concerned though.
Since I was a level 100 mafia boss now, I took down all the level 1 peasants with ease, and I went up to open the chest.
Cannot do that now. What? Oh, it's probably too many people. Surely I can open this now. Sapphire spear? Dude, my inventory is always full.
But I quickly made some space as I noticed a whole brute scale drop from the chest. Anyways, I continued searching for a group of animals, but since it was nighttime, everything was filled to the brim with skeletons and, well, these guys.
Whoa, drifty boys. Oh my god, does he want me? Yeah, why is he cracked?
And he wasn't alone. A whole other gang of rift dudes just pulled up on me. I took care of them though, and there was a couple of sheep around me, so I waited for a bit hoping it would drop some fertilizer. Now, a tiny bit of research later, I realized that I could actually feed the animals, so I dropped down a spicy pepper in front of one of the sheep, and it actually ate it, dropping some fertilizer.
If you feed them, they poop. Oh, yeah, fertilizer. Sweet. Oh my god, there's a brute over there. Oki might kill it, just for funsies.
But then a supply drop appeared above me, so I ended up going over to that instead, after interacting with a couple of cows, that is.
I give you food, you give me poop. Wait, can you like tame them?
I fed them the rest of the pumpkins I had, but one fertilizer is all that I got. Anyhow, I followed the smoke from the drop, but I couldn't see the crate itself.
What's the drop?
At first, I thought it was up in the trees, so I chopped it down, but turns out it was just down the hill. And after opening it, I got some grilled meat.
Terrible drop.
I now had more than enough fertilizer for those garden plots, so I headed back to camp.
I also need to go farm a bunch more gems for a little bit, just so I can always replace my weapons. Because dude, this ruby crossbow is still breaking pretty quick. I mean, I could definitely save durability if I can hit my shots precisely, but I've shown that I'm incapable of that.
Back at base on day 29, I first emptied out my inventory and then grabbed my shovel to get soil for the garden plots.
Do a little digging right here.
I dug up a pumpkin seed, so that answered my question on how to get those.
Garden plots. Let's make the garden out here. This will be my gardening house. And I'm assuming I just gotta put a seed in there. So I'm gonna need wheat seeds.
I started digging just next to my house, but I actually dug for a while without finding any more seeds. Maybe I was just really lucky in getting those pumpkin seeds. Now, doing some more research, I was recommended to find some wheat in a cave chest or something, and then actually turn that wheat into seeds using the grain mill.
Okay, well, I've been meaning to go caving anyways. Let's go do some more caving. Might as well get some amber, some chests, get some wheat seeds, you know the vibes.
The first cave I entered was the one that I already explored, but I still stopped by the chest to check again and see if the loot respawned or whatever. I also noticed some amber left on the ceiling from last time, but I didn't have any wood on me to build up to it, so I had to exit the cave and then farm some. But that was not as simple as just saying it. I had to fight off another rift guy and a horde of spiders before I could get to farming the wood.
Holy, how many spiders are there?
Now, finally, with a bit of wood gathered, I re-entered the cave and I fought off a couple of skelly boys before farming the leftover amber. After jumping off my platform, I noticed some fighting skeletons just below me.
Who are you? Aura? Who are you? Why are you in here?
Turns out Aura over here was a fellow explorer and survivor, so I used 10% of my riz and hit her with a few words, and just like that, she could follow me around now.
Oh, is it like a follower? No way. I got a girlfriend, bro. I bagged a shawty. Can I give her better weapons?
Turns out, yes, I could talk to her and give her any of my tools that I had on me.
Dude, if she's my follower, we're dripping her out, bro. I'm giving her some good stuff.
So I mined up the rest of the amber while Aura just kind of stared at me.
I give her a crossbow, since crossbows are so broken. And would she have aimbot?
More importantly, I found the chest that actually had 7 wheat grain and some more in another. With everything I now needed acquired, I exited the cave, and just outside I noticed another supply drop coming down, so of course I had to head over there. This is honestly like a gambling addiction. Instead of Ark supply drops, it's Fortnite supply drops.
Probably stay out here with Amber for a little bit though. Or Aura. Why is her name Aura? Do I have more Aura with Aura? Anyways, I'll probably stay out here with Aura for a while. We'll farm up more amber so I can make her better weapons. Oh my god. She teleports. It's tweaking me out.
The supply drop was once again mess, so I continued exploring the surrounding area. And I then found an abandoned shack of some sorts, and it had a barrel with TNT inside that I could pick up.
Oh my god. I light it? Oh my god, I lit it.
Anyhow, I found another cave on day 30, so I did the usual. Kill bad skelly boys, smack other amber nodes, and then send Aura down to fight things for me.
Go get it. Go get it, Aura. Did she just die? No way.
Did I lose Aura just like that? Meaning, did I lose all my Aura?
I didn't know she could die. I thought she was a meat shield. I lost my shoddy, dude. She doesn't respawn or nothing? What? I would have never sent her on a suicide. Oh my god, she's back. Welcome back, chat. So she is immortal, pretty much.
So I continued mining for amber while also taking care of scorpions and, well, blasters.
Oh my god. Aura, get out of there.
Don't ask me how, but Aura literally just tanked a whole blaster explosion. I guess she's just built different. After taking care of another blaster as well, I noticed a chest up on a small ledge. So I built up to it, and inside the chest, I actually found an emerald axe.
Emerald axe? Yes, sir.
Going even deeper into the cave, we stumbled into more opposition, and I had to watch Aura beat up a skeleton.
This is sad. Why are you punching?
I decided I had enough of looking at her struggle, so I gave her my copper axe.
Alright, use that to fight, bro. Instead of your fists.
And this cave just kept going. We had to fight through a ton of skeletons, scorpions, and a few more blasters. But in the end, it was all worth it as I gathered over 70 rough amber from the chests and all the nodes. Now, I just had to figure out how to get back out.
Alright, how do I get out of here? I'm lucky lost. Oh, there we go.
After making it outside on day 31, I soon came across a brute hiding next to some trees.
Oh my god. Alright, Aura, you're being put to the test.
But she literally got one shot from the brute, so it was up to me to clutch.
Is Aura already dead? I think she's already dead. Into the lobby, broski.
I waited for Aura to respawn and we ran back to camp. I then threw all the amber that I farmed into my gem cutter and I planted the wheat grains into the garden plots.
I'm assuming this is gonna grow more.
I threw 10 of the wheat grain into the grain mill to make flour, then sorted out my inventory and then threw some meat on the grill, and I also tried to invite Aura to join my village.
Oh yeah, join my village.
Turns out the village was full and I had to make a bed to make space for her.
Here, look, take that bed. Where'd you go? Why are you outside the walls, bro?
But that still didn't work apparently.
All your bunks are... Brother, I just put a bed down.
I ran back up into the room and I interacted with the bed, which opened up a little menu which I could assign certain beds to certain NPCs. So I crafted and placed down another bed in hopes I could give her that one.
Put in her bed right next to me. Oh, maybe she can't join. Maybe Storm Chasers can only have a max of 4. That's lame.
Anyways, I tried to give her my crossbow by putting all my tools into a chest and seeing the menu again, but that wasn't listed as an option.
Okay, no, she can't take crossbows. I'll have to get her a melee weapon.
Thankfully, I just came back from a big mining trip and a lot of amber was already finished getting refined. So I headed over to my crafting bench and I crafted a new amber sword for her.
Some runes? Does it use durability when she has it? Whatever, I'll upgrade durability on it, and I'll put damage on it.
I gave her the amber sword and made my first 4 pumpkin pies. I then wanted to check on my garden plots again.
Collect wheat. Okay. You gotta replant them every time?
I then grabbed the wheat and threw it into the grain mill, and 1 wheat actually gave me 3 of the wheat grain.
So let's go replant this stuff.
On day 32, I decided it was time to expand the village once again. I wanted to place down that deluxe shack I was looking at earlier, but I was still missing a bit of wood, so I went out to get some.
Alright, let's go build this shack.
I placed it next to the first and thus began the epic construction. I had to pause the construction for a bit as these 2 little fences required planks.
Oh my god, you need a bunch of planks.
So I made a quick trip back to my lumber mill to get those crafted. I returned back to the house and placed down the fences, just to be hit in the face by even more fences needing planks. I threw some wood into the lumber mill and I headed back out to farm more wood as the house turned out to be a little bit more expensive than I initially thought. And while running up to a tree, I discovered Pumpkin Haven right before me.
Holy pumpkins. How have I not seen this?
With enough wood and pumpkins gathered, I returned back to camp, grabbed up the planks, and continued building the house.
Sweet.
My wheat had also grown again, and that also got me thinking. I wanted to make a bigger garden so I could mass produce wheat grain. Along with that, I would also like to tame some farm animals and have them here in my village. There was this barn structure in the build menu which can most likely be used for just that, taming farmland animals.
Let's make a barn.
Since it was just 10 planks, I fired up the lumber mill once again.
This thing is tiny.
I slapped it down next to the new shack and opened it to see exactly what I was looking for.
Feed an animal an animal treat to earn its trust. You can then assign it to a barn to have as a new resident in your village. So am I gonna have to make multiple barns?
Looking into my codex, I found the animal treat described, and it was only 15 vines to craft one, so I gathered all of them up that I had in my chest and then threw them onto the grill.
Animal treat.
I also made a few extra pumpkin pies with the pumpkins that I had just before the end of day 32. On day 33, the animal treats finished cooking, so I headed out to look for some animals to actually tame. And I didn't have to go too far as there were some chickens just vibing outside the camp, so I fed one of them.
So, are you mine? Oh, it's following me. Following chicken. Name, what do I name him? Oh, his name is Blaze. So is he's gonna produce stuff.
I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing yet, so I gave it the raspberries that I had on me and then fed another chicken.
I'm gonna need more barns, dude. I'm gonna tame a whole army of animals.
My arc self was already getting the better of me, so I threw all my wood into the 2 mills and I went back out to check on Blaze.
Oh yeah, he just produces eggs. That's sick. You just gotta feed him.
To make a big animal army, I would just have to get more animal treats. So I got to work on collecting vines from the bushes around camp. Once back, I had a few planks waiting for me in the mills, so I grabbed them and then placed down the 5 extra barns. I found a new group of chickens, so I fed one of them and then ran back to my barns. However, I was met with some devastating news.
What? How do I get it to be able to hold more chickens? Probably gotta upgrade the village.
But for that, I'd have to face what I've been avoiding for a while now.
I think it's about time that I do this storm stuff.
I grabbed all my storm fruits as I need those to reset the 30-second timer you get when you're inside the storm. But thanks to the compass that Dr. B gave me, I could see all the other storms around, but the one I visited first was the closest one. But before heading out there, I had to prepare more arrows as I was running a bit low. I had some feathers laying around, so I turned them into arrows, and I also crafted some cords and a drawstring so I can make myself a new amber crossbow.
Let's put some runes on it. Honestly, I want even more arrows. Greedy like that.
Since I wanted to make some more arrows, I had to do the obvious.
Big mistake coming into my base.
What I didn't mean to do though was this.
Oh, that was Blaze. God, I just killed my own chicken. My bad. Can we get an RIP for Blaze in the chat?
May Blaze rest in pieces. However, I still turned his remains into ammunition and cleared out my inventory a bit. On day 34, I crafted an amber sword as well, and as I was engraving it with runes, Thor decided to say hello.
Whoa, brother. Struck right there?
Anyways, it was time to finally head out for the storm. The actual one, not the one that Thor was throwing at me. I soon ran into another brute though, so I decided to fight that. I got hit by its rush attack ability, and it also clapped aura. So I had to heal up real quick, so I tried the new pumpkin pie, of course.
Oh, they take forever to eat. I do heal though. There we go. Give me that brute scale, boy.
Fighting that drained quite a bit of my arrows, so I paused the adventure for a bit and decided to kill a few more chickens for their feathers instead. I also came across another chest abandoned in a little village. This time, it was guarded by a few dudes, but me and Aura made quick work of them and I looted the chest. And it dropped a brand new ruby pickaxe.
You got me, I'll take it.
I then continued looking for feathers, but I had a little bit of trouble actually finding the chickens.
Man, there ain't no chickens. I think I permanently killed off their population.
I did come across a few in the desert as the sun came up again, so I returned back to camp with 12 total feathers and I turned them all into arrows. And on day 35, I was ready to go complete these main missions.
Alrighty, go out to this storm finally.
Well, I say ready, but Aura actually somehow lost her weapons and was fighting using her hands again.
Brother, where is your weapon? Why is her weapon gone? Oh my god. I'm gonna have to go back to base and get her another. I actually need you to do something, bruh. You can't be punching people in the storm.
So I ran back to base again and made her a new amber sword.
Wasting resources on this girl, bro. Losing my weapon. Alright, come on. Jeez, ridiculous.
I tried to avoid combat as much as possible and just to get to the storm as fast as I could. But there were different distractions waiting for me on the way over as well, and I couldn't pass up on those so easily.
I drop. Chest? What's this? Emerald crossbow? Oh my boy, do I need that. Alright, time to dip.
And soon, I came across another broken down house with another unattended chest waiting to be opened.
Finding all the chests today.
I arrived at the storm on day 36, and I was pretty sure I could already see where I had to go.
Okay, that big rock that my cursor's on right now is looking like the storm cave that I gotta go in.
I ran right in and wanted to avoid fighting things at all costs, as I also had to focus on eating the storm fruits in time to, keep me alive in here. But soon I arrived at the big rock I was talking about.
Come on, this has to be a storm cave.
I ran up the ramp and there was a rift waiting for me up top.
It's a rift. I'm using it. Enter dungeon?
Thankfully, I was safe from the storm inside the cave now. I just had to figure out how to get the 10 greater storm cores.
What's this? I gotta destroy whatever these storm crystals are, and I bet this will take me to the next level or whatever.
Continuing the expedition, I soon came across a few stronger storm dudes, and I noticed Aura had once again lost the sword that I gave her.
Oh my god, how do you keep losing the stuff that I give you?
So I decided to give her my amber axe for the time being.
She's an infinite void of my weapons. Well, this has to be the storm crystal. Do I shoot it? Oh, yep.
I also just noticed that I had 2 greater storm cores. They dropped from the cave rift dudes, and there was no shortage of those guys around here.
Oh, there's a crystal.
Anyways, heading even deeper into the cave, I found some storm fruit I could grab, and this weird plant that was killing me for some reason.
What is this? Oh, yep, that hurts, that hurts. Okay.
I jumped down and ran through the next big open area, and there I spotted a new type of enemy.
Oh my god, what is that?
It ran up to me and one-shot Aura, so I avenged her and killed the beast. But before going any further, I waited around for her to respawn. Finally, after a bit of waiting, she was back, but so was another one of those beasts. But luckily, we took it down before Aura could be killed again. Moving forward, I came across a dead end with another rift that would return me back to the floor's entrance. So I turned back around to find the last missing crystal.
Oh my god, it's right there. It was hiding where I came from.
Since I was already close to the entrance, I just jumped back using the geysers. I then healed myself up, and there was a chest waiting for me at the first rift.
Oh, okay, this is making more sense. So it said when I entered that this is the dungeon, right? So there's going to be multiple levels to it, and I'm assuming they get harder as you go. And I don't know if I'm up for that right now. Surely I can just come back.
Anyhow, I got a sapphire dagger from the chest, and then I exited the cave.
I want to make that storm charm as well before I come back. God, this place is actually crazy.
So on day 37, I started running back to camp again.
Back at the crib. They're walking all that way. That took forever.
I first engraved my emerald axe with runes, then upgraded the village and spoke to Carl. He somehow had the audacity to give me just 3 pies for all the hassle that I've been through.
Okay, so you're telling me that I went into a cave in the storm, not a cave, a dungeon in the storm, and you give me 3 fruit pies while you're sitting here doing nothing. Seems fair.
But I quickly changed my mind about roasting Carl when I actually checked what those pies did.
Yeah, I'm not doing nothing for you if you give me that. Oh wait, no, those are actually kind of crap. Plus 5 hearts? Oh yeah, because they're expensive.
Anyways, on day 38, I sorted out my inventory and ran over to my crafty bench where I could finally see the storm charm.
Silk thread, storm shell, copper bar, silk thread? Surely I got silk somewhere.
I had more than enough stored away in a couple of chests, so I turned 3 of them into silk thread. I also had enough copper bars and greater storm cores ready. Now I just needed 3 storm shells.
Oh my god. You get storm shells from the rollers in the storm. If you're not catching my drift here, I have to go back to the storm. I want to die.
But before going back out there, I had a much better idea in mind for now.
I'm gonna take my rage out on chickens. I need food and I want more arrows. Even though I have 276. I'm just mad. I need to kill stuff. Not a good way to get your anger out, but this is Lego Fortnite, so I don't care.
That ensued another hunt for the poor defenseless chickens. But I would still accept the Lego Fortnite gods offerings, such as these supply drops.
Honestly, the supply drops have been pretty cheeks lately. Like, I can't resist not going over to them. Dude, like, yeah, that's some booty loot, bro. The best thing I got out of that was 6 grilled meat, which I'm not complaining because I kind of like the grilled meat because I eat it. It's my main food source, but that's cheeks.
Yeah, it was also as if the Lego Fortnite gods were listening to me as Thor came over and organized another storm. He probably didn't like the comments that I had about that drop.
I'm not trying to get struck.
But I had to take care of a few nuisances before I could go back. These rift dudes were starting to appear more and more often as well. Not that they put up much of a fight in the first place though, even Aura could handle them on her own.
Hey, Aura, see what happens when you keep the weapons that I give you? You're easily able to kill anybody. Quit losing my stuff, bruh.
On day 39, I finished grilling more meat, and I was once again mentally prepared to go back to the storm, I think. During the hike back, I got close to one of those floating glowing orb spheres things that I've been seeing here and there. I have no idea what they were, and I tried shooting at it and swinging my sword at it, but it kind of just exploded and gave me a ton of wood.
It just gave me wood? I look, you feel bad, bro. I just tried to kill it.
Anyways, I finally returned to the storm on day 40, and I spotted a roller crab right outside from the actual storm. So I killed it and got my first storm shell.
Okay, yeah, that's what I need. I think I only need 3 storm shells. My second one.
And the third one was also found shortly after.
Alrighty, 3. That should be all I need for a storm charm, which will allow me to stay in the storm a lot longer.
I killed another roller just in case I'd need a shell for something in the future, and while running back, I may or may not have ran into a sleeping bear.
Oh my god, I didn't even see that.
I also came across another broken down house with a chest, so I opened it and got a bunch of resources, most of which I couldn't even carry anymore.
Oh my god. I don't need any of that.
As night took over the sky, I was finally back home where I then sorted out my inventory and crafted the storm charm.
Storm charm, yes sir.
On day 41, I looked through the build menu, specifically the vehicles, as I wanted something that could get me into the storm and back faster. And the Crusher seemed like a reasonable vehicle as it had a whole cannon mounted on top of it. But first, I had to figure out how to get the biomass to actually craft the power cells to, power it. I looked through the stations and found the compost bin, which I then could turn organic material into biomass. To make one, I just had to get a few things like sand, soil, and fertilizer. So I whipped out my shovel and got back to work. With the sand and soil now gathered, I ran over to the back side of the camp where I then found a couple of pigs, which conveniently enough already had some fertilizer laying around them. I then ran back inside and placed down the compost bin, and I threw some smoked dry fish in to see what I'd get. While waiting for the compost bin, I ran back out and constructed a small wooden platform for the crusher's construction, but I still had to place the car jack next to it as it was obstructed by the platform for some reason. Anyhow, it was time to start building it. I farmed up a little bit of granite and placed down the vehicle base, but I had to go and get some more for the next few parts. Coming back to the build, I spotted a supply drop coming down, but with the history of drops that I've looted, I ignored it for now and continued building instead. However, my curiosity got the better of me on day 42, and I went over to the drop to open it. As usual, the loot was nothing worth celebrating, so I got right back to work on the crusher. On the morning of day 43, I finished placing all the wheels down.
Building wheels, boy. This thing better be cool, dude. And this better make biomass like a... Oh, okay. It did. Sweet. So you need like bones and stuff dropped from animals to make biomass.
Anyways, I was once again short on wood, so I went out on lumberjack duty. After that, I placed down the front bumper.
Alright, last stage. All the expensive stuff.
I had everything for the cannon on me already, so I placed it down, but I had to get some cord and plank for the driver's seat, and a single piece of glass for the lights. So I grabbed a bunch of glass from my chest, and I went out to farm vines from bushes nearby.
What's that? Oh, there's a brute.
But then I got distracted by yet another supply drop coming down, so of course I picked up the disappointing loot inside.
Pretty useless supply drop right there.
Back at the crib, I placed down the light on the crusher. I then threw my vines into the spinning wheel, and once the cord was finished crafting, I grabbed the plank from the mill and finally finished the crusher build.
Yes, I have finished the crusher. Okay, now obviously I'm gonna need cannonballs for this. I think I have to go fight the brute that was over there.
But first, I cleared out my inventory as it was once again full of random junk. I started day 44 off by making myself a better shovel as I needed to farm a bunch of sand for glass so I can make those power cells.
Yes, sir. What? Can't put runes on a shovel? That's dumb. Whatever.
I farmed a bunch of sand just outside and then threw it into the smelter.
Alright, wait. While it's night, let's go hunt some skeletons for more bones, since I'm gonna need a lot of biomass. That's a decent amount of bones for now.
Back at base, I made the first power cell and I looked through my chest to see if I had any cannonballs laying around.
I'm still so disorganized, man.
I then remembered that I could load them up to my cannon, so I grabbed them and then put them into the cannon on the crusher.
Can it drive with only one battery? Yes. Oh. Okay. Why is it driving like this? Why is it going this way? I'm only pressing forward. Okay, I need to break these fences. Ah! Just got ran over.
But the car was still going off to one side, so I hopped off and took a look at my wheels.
Oh, the wheels were going different ways. That's why. They all have to be going the same way. Oh my god.
Alright, honestly, never let me cook again. I hopped on again to see if anything changed, but I only made it worse.
You can't drive straight? What? I am doing... Oh! I am doing everything, but I don't understand. Why can't I move forward? It says W's forward. Do I need both batteries? Is it only... Well, you know what? It's probably... Let me make both batteries. I bet... Make both batteries for the power? I don't know. This thing is really confusing me.
Another thing I wanted to make was a second compost bin, as the first one was too slow to satisfy my needs. So I slapped down a second one and threw half of the bones into it.
I need to wait for night again and just farm more bones. Oh wait, I have enough for everyone.
With the second power cell now made, I ran back to the crusher and powered it, but something was still off.
What? It has to be the wheel positions.
On day 45, I finally fixed the issue by setting one side of the wheel to turn a different way than the other.
What? So when they're facing different directions, I can drive it.
And I also decided to pick up a curious friend on the ride with me.
Oh my god. There's a pig in my thing. Alright, let's go find this brute.
But I first had to get it unstuck. This thing could get immobilized by basically any small rock out here.
Wasting my battery juice, man. Getting stuck on these rocks. Where's the brute?
Oh, and did I mention trees were also my worst enemy?
Dude, I'm stuck on a log. I'm like T-boning on it right now. Are you serious? I'm gonna get this to work. I'm bound and determined.
Anyhow, I continued looking for a brute. I barely climbed up the mountain, but I did spot a wolf chilling down on the other side. And I shot at it, but I missed by just a hair, so I tried to get a little bit closer. But the cannon's rotation controls were really janky, so this was way harder to pull off than it looks. I tried to get the second wolf as well, but I ran out of cannonballs, so I had to retreat.
Yeah, okay, I need to farm skeletons, and I'm definitely gonna need more batteries.
I parked the crusher back at camp and went outside to hunt skeletons again for biomass. I also had some dynamite on me, so I wanted to test that out on the skeletons, but I may have underestimated them a little bit.
Oh, I missed. Oh, do they run from it? Are they that smart? Come on, surely he gets hit. Yeah, they run from it.
But they couldn't run from these hands. One of the skelly boys dropped me another dynamite stick, so I tried throwing at it again at an unsuspecting skeleton.
This guy had more dynamite. I want to blow somebody up. Yeah, he doesn't know. Come on. Surely. What?
Yeah, maybe the dynamites just weren't an effective weapon at all. But my sword, on the other hand, yeah, that works flawlessly. As the sun started to come up again, I ran back to camp. I managed to amass a total of 59 bones, so I split them into the compost bins, and then crafted another power cell with the biomass that was made while I was gone. On day 46, I first went out to gather sand and then returned back to look into making more cannonballs.
Cannonballs. Blast powder and just granite? I should have a ton of blast powder. Should.
I grabbed what I found and crafted one that actually gave me 10 cannonballs.
Oh, it crafts so many cannonballs. I'm crafting these all. Don't care. Zero hesitation. How many cannonballs is that? 105.
I loaded up the cannon with a stack and then stored the rest away and hopped back on the crusher.
I'm forklift certified, bro. As I run into a wall. Okay. We back on the hunt. It's like a homing missile, dude. I'll lock on something. Oh my god.
Instead of locking onto things, the cannon was way more effective at snatching pigs, apparently.
Well, the pigs are... Oh my god, this is so cursed. Come on, I need a bear or something that stands still.
Ask and you shall receive, I guess, as a bear appeared right in front of me just a few seconds later. I shot the first cannonball and missed completely, then readjusted it and blew off a tree, readjusted it again, and then blew up another tree. To rub some salt in the wound, the bear literally went to sleep while I was trying to hit it with a literal cannon shooting at it.
Oh my god, this is sad.
It was hard to tell which shots were actually hitting as I didn't see any damage numbers even on its direct hits, but a few shots later the bear finally collapsed.
Oh my god, I got it. Well, at least I got a confirmed kill with it.
My aura may be in critical debt right now, but I soon made up for that with this insane headshot on a random op.
Oh hey there, you want the smoke?
Anyways, I drove this Mars rover looking thing back to base, and before even making it inside the park, I managed to get it stuck on some cacti.
Get rid of this stupid rock. There's no way I just got stuck on cactus. Screw you, chickens. Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Are you kidding me? No, screw it. I'm leaving this room. I got an idea.
Alright, hear me out on this one. I know I just grabbed some dynamite, but I will not let my anger take over me and blow up the Never mind.
Don't even care. Screw you. This thing is terrible.
I looked into the build menu once again and noticed a speeder vehicle. It looks simple to construct, and considering its name, it would probably get me from point A to point B pretty quick. But I had to first sort out my inventory bit, and while doing so, I noticed something was missing.
Alright, my hatchet has despawned from my inventory. Well, I've been looking for, a little excuse to do this. Fulfill my addiction once again. That's right, I want to go farming for resources. With, like, gems and stuff. Basically, so I never have to do this again. Because I keep shredding through my resources because Amber, Aura, whoever, keeps losing the stuff that I give her.
Since I was already going out to farm, I decided to make Aura one more Amber sword before going spelunking again. The first cave I entered was already explored by me, so I had to go further away from camp. I also waited for a supply crate to come down, but it was once again nothing short of disappointment. At least I found a new cave nearby, so I headed inside and got to work on feeding my addiction. I also grabbed the copper as I'd probably need it for future builds such as the speeder. The cave was pretty big and it was also filled with skeletons and scorpions. After getting the amber, I built across to the other side where I opened the chest and got a goated ruby sword.
I like a ruby sword. Probably have to... Oh wait, you can put 3 runes on this. Maybe I should be mining rubies, bro.
Anyways, after falling off my platform twice in a row, I mined the last few amber nodes on the ceiling, and then went through the whole cave again to see if I missed anything before heading out. I returned back to the surface on day 49 and ran back to camp to refine all the amber that I just farmed. I then engraved my new sword with a damage, durability, and health rune. Since rubies were overall better than amber, I headed into the Dry Valley cave instead, but I almost forgot how hot it was in there.
Oh.
Luckily, I had my chillberry shakes on me, so I popped one. However, after a brief look around, I figured out that there wouldn't be any rubies in here. That being said, I came back up to the surface and I looked for a different cave. Once I finally found one, I jumped back in and this one actually had rubies on the wall, so I got to work.
I don't have wood, bruh. I don't have an axe.
With no axe or wood, I had to resort to using a bit of dark magic. I ran up close to the wall and I started hitting it, which somehow ended up damaging and breaking the ruby node above. But I still had to leave the cave as getting the other nodes would be impossible without building up to them. Back at the crib on day 50, I crafted a new amber axe, put some runes on it, and went out to gather a little bit of wood. With that problem sorted, I ran back to the cave and popped yet another chillberry juice. After clapping an unsuspecting blaster, I noticed some more ruby chilling on the wall, so I gathered that up before going deeper into the cave and starting a fight with an entire army of skeletons. Once they were dealt with, I could get back to fulfilling my addiction.
It was huge.
And the skeletons were inside getting more advanced as well.
I got a Glock? Yeah.
After taking care of him, I built up to the ceiling where I saw these interesting looking blue crystals. But after mining one of them, I realized that it was just obsidian. Eventually, I ran out of wood from all the building, so I had to go grab some more off the floor. Then, building up to a little ledge, it proved to be worth it as I found a sapphire spear in one of the chests, and it also had 3 rune slots.
Can I throw it? Oh, not what I meant to throw.
Good news, yes, I can throw the spear. Bad news, it landed in lava.
Well, yeah, I'm not getting that back.
After that fumble, I took out my anger on a few skelly boys, and I found another exit to the cave, so I headed out.
Move the cave from here. Beddington.
With my need for mining once again satisfied for a short period of time, I returned back to camp and threw the rubies into the gem cutter just before the end of day 50. On day 51, I looked at the vehicles again.
Oh yeah, I want to build the speeder. Oh, I don't know, this one has a wing though. I mean, I can always build both of them. Let's build the speeder because this might actually be useful if it's faster than other ones to get around the map. Tired of running everywhere.
So I placed the car jack down, but I had to go gather some granite and wood for the vehicle base. And after getting that, I returned to finish off the build.
Going to get it real quick. Link and cord.
But I ran out of vines as well, so I smacked up a few bushes around the camp and then made a cord and completed the build.
Oh, it's done. Like that? Oh, it only takes 1 battery cell? I guess it is tiny.
Anyways, I hopped on it to take a little test drive, but as usual, I came across a few minor complications.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Eventually, I managed to flip it back on its wheels, but it was still kind of hard to control, and it was way too easy to flip and do wheelies on.
It flips so easily. It has too much torque.
And the name was also a bit deceiving as this thing was far from speedy.
Why is this thing called a speedster? It is so unbelievably slow. This is slower than the other things. You can wheelie like this. Screw that. I'm leaving that there.
Since that was a complete disappointment, I wanted to construct a kart racer instead. I placed the car jack down, but I quickly got distracted by a supply drop.
Oh, my gambling addiction is calling. I will be back, base.
I opened up the drop and got a bunch of food as usual, so I ran back to my cart. On day 52, I ran out to get a bunch of vines as I needed more cord for the front wheels. Onto the rear wheels and the wing. I threw some copper into the smelter to turn in the metal plates and I farmed some granite. After the plates were done cooking, I grabbed a few wooden rods and finished the build.
Alright, put the wing on. This thing better be good. Let me get the battery out of the other one.
The kart racer actually took 2 power cells, so I also checked the crusher records if I had left any there. But the only thing I found were leftover cannonballs. So I crafted a second power cell and then threw it into the cart, and I hopped on it to test it out.
No! Who designed these? Look, okay, I tapped the W, it just launches instantly in the air.
I tried to mess with the wheel rotations, but that only made the cart undrivable. After fixing the rotations, I went out to actually drive it around a bit and see if I could figure out the controls.
Like, the wheels just put out too much power in the back. Look at this. You can't drive this. You can't even drift it. It's not cool.
But no matter what I tried, the cart kept popping wheelie, making it impossible to turn.
This is so stupid. Screw this, bro. I've had it with these carts.
It was fair to say that these vehicles were a massive disappointment. I returned back to camp to sort out my stuff on day 53.
These power cells away because I don't need them. You can't tell I'm salty that the vehicles don't work. It could be such a cool feature.
That being said, I had to get back on track with these missions.
I think it's about time that I set back out to the storm, this storm in particular, to do that dungeon because I'm sure you can get some pretty good loot.
I organized my inventory as much as possible and then grabbed some cord and made a drawstring as I wanted to craft another crossbow. I didn't know just how long I'd have to stay in the dungeon to complete it, and it's always better to be safe than sorry.
Oh, 10 feathers just chilling? I have to ask me twice.
With an extra crossbow and an extra sword prepared, I now wanted to stock up on food before heading out as well. So I went out to hunt chickens as usual.
Hold up, random thought. I just remember seeing in this build thing a while ago. Yes, a launch pad. Launch yourself. I could put one at my base. Oh, we are so making that before we leave.
But I first had to figure out how to get silk fabric as I didn't even have that unlocked yet.
Alright, looks like I need to make silk thread.
I grabbed a bunch of silk from a chest and threw it onto the spinning wheel, but crafting the thread still didn't unlock the fabric for some reason.
Where does man get spun from silk thread? I should be able to craft it, man. Oh, what is this? This is off topic, but boy, do I want that. Alright, well, I guess I'm just gonna give up on the launch pad for now, since you can't craft what you need for it, which is a big bummer.
Instead, I made a bunch of arrows with the feathers that I got. But before heading out, I also wanted to make one more sword for Aura, as she tends to lose hers, quite a lot. I then engraved both the new weapons and then headed out into the storm.
Wait, set out. Who's this storm?
Once I arrived at the storm, I threw on my storm charm and I headed in.
Let's go.
Thanks to the charm, I could stay in the storm for over 2 minutes instead of just 30 seconds. And that allowed me to easily make it back to the cave without having to munch on any storm fruits.
Let me back in, dude.
Or I was at least. Aura was nowhere to be seen.
Brother, where is Aura?
When she appeared, I gave her the amber sword and put my health charm back on. I then descended into the next level.
Oh, beat waves of storms spawners? Oh, I gotta kill these probably.
I destroyed the first spawner with my crossbow and then helped Aura kill the storm dudes, and one of them dropped me a rift crystal, which if you remember was necessary for crafting that legendary forge. Anyhow, I also destroyed the second spawner and its minions before another one appeared out of the ground in front of me.
Okay, some more spawning. Looks like there's 3 waves of them. Completed one, which you can see on the right.
After getting rid of the other 2 spawners as well, I had to kill the leftover rift dudes. Without Aura around, I was actually eating a lot of hits and they shredded through my big health pool.
Holy dude. Oh my god. I need these fruit pies, man.
I healed back up and Aura respawned and we killed the remaining enemies, which then started the final wave.
Alright, now it's 2 out of 3. One more. Alright, Aura, you fight. I'm going for these crystals. Oh, they killed Aura.
I pulled some moves straight out of the Matrix, dodging arrows left and right while eating a fruit pie to heal up.
Y'all can't hit me.
I then rushed in to destroy the last spawner, and the rift dudes really didn't like that.
Oh my god, I'm getting shredded.
With Aura now back in action again, we packed up the rest of them, completing this floor.
Alright, I think I completed it. Yep, rift for the next one. Oh, a chest.
Honestly, the loot was not the best considering I just risked my life down here. Anyways, I jumped down to the next rift. This next floor seemed to work the same way as the first one. I just had to find and destroy 3 storm crystals, so I made sure to look properly this time, not to try and miss any. I came across an interesting looking part of the cave that had a house in it for some reason, and it also looked like the only way to keep going through the cave, and I had to do a little bit of parkour to get through.
Aura move, bro.
After making it up into the next section and clapping the storm roller that killed Aura, I spotted the first crystal.
Oh, finally, there's one. Welcome back, Aura. How was the lobby?
Making it to the next part, I spotted the second crystal right away, so I shot it before taking care of the locals. And the third crystal was just hiding around the corner, so I popped it and then I returned back to the starting point.
Oh yeah, here's my chest. Please be better loot than last time.
I dropped something called a storm rune tome, and its description said read me to get a rune recipe pretty much.
Ugh, did I just learn a new rune? Oh yeah, okay, so that's how you learn runes. That's cool.
Anyways, I descended into the next level and immediately got attacked by a couple of bears.
Aura, you better be ready. You better be ready, Aura.
The last bear decided to take a nap in the middle of all the chaos, so I reminded it that I was still here.
Is it dumb?
Seeing that Aura was rushing in, I also pulled out my sword and ran into the fight. But I then noticed Aura had ditched me.
Ow! Aura! Well, why'd you go that side? Aura, you're cooking me!
Luckily, the bear aggroed onto her, so I could kill it this time.
That was crazy.
I then healed back up with the pies and opened the chest, giving me another rune tome.
Force? Okay, not sure what that does.
I descended into the next level on day 56, and I once again had to destroy 3 crystals. I got past a couple of rift dudes, and I came up to a quite menacing drop.
How do I get past this one? Assuming this? Oh, yeah. Oh my god, this is gonna be terrifying. Oh, no, plenty of distance.
I got greeted by a roller on the other side, so I dodged it and let Aura throw hands with it. But that didn't last too long as she got clapped.
Did it really? Dude, these things mop the floor with Aura, bro.
Anyhow, I found the first 2 crystals in the next part of the cave.
Okay, there's a crystal.
I then descended even deeper and came up upon another roller. And after killing it, I arrived at a pretty massive open hall with a few more rift dudes and a roller.
Oh, so I made it to the bottom and missed one of the crystals.
I had to do some really sketchy parkour to get to a geyser and then launch myself up. And I fought through a few more rift dudes and got to another drop, so I built between across the stairs. I then jumped down, but I didn't notice the second hole just below my feet.
No! No! Okay, so that's what happens.
This time I jumped across, and since the last crystal was nowhere to be seen, I headed back to where I originally came from.
Okay, well, the crystal has to be in this room if I missed it.
I spotted some more sus parkour going downwards, so I found the safest route to go down and jumped.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
With all 3 crystals now broken, I headed back to the start, but I had a slight mishap with one of the geysers.
Oh! Dude, why did it hit me that way?
Anyhow, I opened the chest and got a bunch more goodies, as well as another ruby sword with 3 rune slots.
We're going deeper.
The next floor looked a bit more challenging though.
Defeat the Thunder Lord?
I just had to figure out how to actually get down there, and every inch of me was telling me to jump, so I did.
Screw it. Oh my god.
Even though it didn't look like it was the right way to get down there, I still did succeed and got onto the main platform.
Oh, maybe that was how you do it. Definitely not. You must be the Thunder Lord. I am Granty. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Aura got sent back to the lobby almost instantly, so it was purely up to me to clutch. I healed myself up and I started laying down fire at the Thunder Lord.
Like, what is this? What is this? Dodge the balls. Dodge the balls.
I got hit by another one of his giant homing balls, which absolutely ate through my health. But luckily, Aura respawned just in time to distract him so I could heal.
It's actually getting whittled down here.
With my health now restored, I shot him twice and finished him with a leaping sword attack. And he dropped me a new amber sword. Opening the chest, I got another room tome and a couple of gem Glocks.
What am I gonna learn here? Oh, I can make a bus station now. That's sick.
I looked throughout my codex to see that there were still a ton of runes left for me to learn. But now that I defeated this Thunder Lord, it was time to head back home. I hopped in the rift, which put me back out at the surface.
Oh, is the storm gone? Did I defeat it? I got rid of the storm, it looks like. Oh my god, it's not the storm, guys, obviously. It's crazy, dude. I just took down a storm without even knowing, really. It's sick, though. I am reclaiming this island. Slowly stopping the Storm King. I am him.
On my way back to camp on day 57, I stopped by and opened up a couple of chests. The first one was nothing special, but the second one actually had a bunch of epic tools.
Hold up. I just got some crazy tools out of that chest.
I then made some space in my inventory and I picked up a ruby pickaxe and an emerald crossbow. Anyhow, back at camp, I threw all the raw meat onto the grill and then sorted out my inventory. So I waited for the sun to come back up on day 58 and I then went out to hunt down a few chickens as usual.
My essence balance is full. I think that gives me an excuse to go try out those new runes.
I ran back home and grabbed up a ruby sword. Zapping sounded like it could be useful as it could damage another enemy after killing something. I put healing on as the second rune, and then the third roll I also got a force rune, but it was kinda useless.
I don't want to increase knockback.
I went back out to hunt for more meat, but then I found something that I'm yet to see.
What? Who is this? Who is this? Who are you? No. What, he just exploded with crappy loot? Wow.
Anyhow, there was a brute nearby, so you already know that I had to take it on.
I think we have to fight the beasts to establish my dominance.
After killing that big boy, I ran back to camp and looked into making the legendary forge again.
I don't know how to get rift shards or iron bars, though.
That being said, it was time to do a little bit of research or consult my friend Google.
Okay, so this is recommending me to go to the bus station. I mean, can I actually craft the bus station? Doesn't look like it. Anyways, go to the bus station and go fly to a place called the Lost Isles, where I can kill golems for rift shards, which I need with the legendary forge.
I grilled a few pieces of meat I had on me and then headed out to the bus station. Once there, I opened up the menu and selected the Lost Isles.
The Lost Isles are indeed a place.
I arrived at a pretty mysterious and cloudy looking place with a bunch of floating islands around.
So I'm looking for golems.
Instead of a golem though, I came across a pretty big axolotl.
Is that a golem?
It looked friendly, so I came up to it and I actually pet it.
Hello.
I then spotted a couple of huts up ahead of me, so I went over to check them out. After a short walk, I noticed an entire village with the same style of huts. However, it was filled with many funky looking pirates. There was also a chest in one of the houses though, so I opened it up and got a few rare minerals.
Emerald? Oh, this is probably where you get other resources. Dude, it's crazy I didn't know this place existed. Man, this place is sick, dude. I wish I set up a camp here. I wish I knew this place existed, being honest.
I continued exploring the lands until I came across another bus station with a few interesting looking tribe dudes fighting off a wolf.
Hello? These banana boys? Oh, the banana boys are chill. What language are you speaking? No, talk again.
On day 60, I decided I would add chickens to my kill list as there were plenty of them around here and I always need more food.
Honestly, I should be killing chickens while I'm here too.
And this island just keeps getting more and more interesting.
Hello? Tomato Man? Tomato Man angry? These are like rift boys.
I soon came across a big mountain, so of course I had to scale it to, of course, see what's up there.
Stairway to heaven, bro. Holy. Man, this place looks crazy.
I'm yet to see any golems, but these islands were filled with wolves and bears.
There's wolves everywhere.
I ran down to the beach and found this cursed looking tomato temple.
Dude, a tomato temple? Are you serious?
Eventually, I came across the first Lost Isle cave, so I jumped right in to see if any golems had spawned inside or something.
Hello? Any golems?
These caves looked much more lush, and there was some emerald and gold in here.
I haven't seen any golems, man.
I returned back to the surface, and I actually came across a brute, but I decided not to fight it for now though, as I had a more important task in mind. The search for golems continued into day 61.
A little bit nervous that I still haven't seen a golem. Oh, it's a bear. I thought it was a golem, dude. I was like, there's no way I just said that.
And I almost thought about killing one of those oversized axolotls.
Alright, bro. Call me bad. I can't do it. I can't kill that thing. Alright, I might have to do some research because I'm obviously not having any luck finding golems on my own.
Since I didn't find anything and the day was coming to an end, I went up this cool looking tower to settle down for the night and then do some research.
Yeah, well, there's literally nothing else to it but to keep looking. It's just tough.
Since I couldn't find any golems on land, I decided I wanted to build up to one of those floating islands. But I first had to stock up on wood as I had none on me right now. Except there was a slight issue with most of the trees on the islands.
Brother, you can't use mahogany?
Thankfully, I did find trees that gave normal wood, so I continued chopping away until I had over 100 wood.
Hopefully this is enough wood to build up to these islands.
After getting rid of another tomato head gang, I ran to the top of the hill and I started building stairs to one of the floating islands. And I was greeted by a chest at the top, but I noticed this tomato started glowing as I got close to it, and then...
Oh my god, I found a golem.
Shooting it with my crossbow was ineffective, and it did a spinny attack, instantly killing Aura. So I went in with my sword, swinging left and right, but I was barely scratching this thing's health bar.
Holy, how much health does this have?
He could also pick up rocks from the floor and then chuck them at me, but they were pretty easy to dodge. What wasn't easy to dodge though, on the other hand, was the spinning attack. Oh, and did I mention it also deleted half of my health bar with a single punch? So I quickly healed up a bit and then went in to assist Aura, but she got punched right back into the lobby again. So I managed to dodge a couple more punches, but the third one finally hit me and the golem followed it up with another spinning attack, leaving me with a fraction of my health.
Oh, I might be cooked here, chat. This thing is crazy.
I slowly chipped away at its health, and after did one more spinning attack, I went in for the kill.
Come on. I gotta get it here. Finally. Please give me a decent amount.
One rift shard?
I need 3 more? Are you kidding?
Anyhow, I opened up the chest and I got a tome, which unlocks some sort of structure. And I also opened up a rune tome, and with that I learned the Berserk rune. And on day 63, I came across the second golem, pretty close to my sketchy staircase.
Oh my god, there's another golem. Okay, well, looks like I'm fighting another one.
I gave Aura my amber axe and I rushed in to fight the big guy. After getting hit, I ran to the top of this little hill to wait for Aura to respawn again. And once she did, we went in again.
She just got sent back to the lobby.
But I clutched up and killed the golem after healing back up.
Got him. Got another rift shard.
And a short walk later, I ran into yet another golem. I wonder why it was so hard to find them before when they're literally spawning everywhere all of a sudden.
Oh my god, there's another golem. How am I finding them left and right when I have virtually no food?
This one also looks a bit different. He didn't have a tomato on his head, instead just a Dorito-shaped head with 2 eyeballs. I helped it kill the roller and I waited for it to do its spinny attack again. Then I started swinging.
Back to the lobby, buddy.
I was running really low on food, so I ran back to the bus station and I departed back to the main island. Back at the crib on day 64, I threw a bunch of my meat onto the grill and then sorted out my inventory. I also crafted myself a new amber axe since I had to give my first one back to Aura. After engraving it, I noticed another one of those glowy rainbow things at my gate, so of course I started chasing after it. But I soon gave up as it just kept getting away from me and didn't drop anything. Anyways, with the food now cooked, I grabbed it and then headed back out to the bus station and departed to the Lost Isles once again. Shortly after landing, I came across this giant llama statue and the chest with some goodies, but most importantly, I spotted the final golem on my radar.
Yes!
I perfectly dodged his spin attack, but the same cannot be said about his punches.
Oh my god.
And to make matters worse, I somehow also aggroed a bear.
Are you serious? Surely the bear's gonna fight him. Yes.
The golem won in a devastating knockout, so I returned back to the fight. And after dodging one more spin attack, me and Aura both ran in for the kill.
There we go. Beddington, Legendary Forge, Iron Bar. I'm assuming you get iron in the Lost Isles, so let's go mining.
Luckily, there was a cave just a few steps away from me, so I headed inside. I built up to a node and mined it. However, it gave me gold, and the other nodes around were emerald. After mining up the emerald on day 65, I continued deeper into the cave where I found a metric ton of gold, so I got to work. I didn't get all of it, but instead, I looked up where to find actual iron.
Okay, you get iron from the caves in the snow, so gotta go back to the mainland.
After making it up to the surface, I ran to the closest bus station and departed. Jumping out of the bus, I flew towards the snow, and I ran right by a brew, but I couldn't be bothered to kill it. And since I'm yet to explore this biome properly, I didn't see any caves marked on my map, so I kinda just have to wander around until I find one.
That's the Storm King. Okay, yep, not going that way. Going to the cave over here. This definitely is a Frostland cave.
Very quickly, I found a few oddly iron-looking nodes, so I mined them all up. I then opened a few chests as well and got a new emerald axe.
I'm assuming these are sapphires? Yeah.
I continued looking to the cave on day 66, and I found some more iron and a sapphire, so I mined it all up.
I'm somehow lost in this cave.
But after getting those 3 iron nodes, I actually stumbled right back into the entrance.
Oh.
With more than enough iron acquired, I started heading back to camp towards the end of the day. I made it back home on day 67, so I threw my iron into the smelter. I then grabbed my rubies and sorted out my inventory. Eventually, 8 iron bars smelted, so I grabbed them and I could finally make the legendary forge.
Yes, sir. Legendary forge. Where do I want to place this? Kind of run out of space in here. That works. Okay, so you use rift crystals to upgrade it. Let's upgrade this crossbow. Oh, it just ups the damage and durability. Okay.
I of course had to try my newly upgraded crossbow, and unfortunately there were no chickens around in the area, so I had to do this.
Sorry, piggy. Let's do more damage. So I need to figure out how to like mass farm rift crystals to upgrade all my stuff. Gonna have to do some research.
On day 68, I looked at my main objectives again, and I was tasked with going out to investigate a dormant Tempest gateway.
I'm assuming I'm going to whatever this thing is on the map. I think it's called the Raven.
I gathered a bit of wood and then sorted on my stuff before heading out.
Really running low on this food stuff. I have to keep killing.
And after killing a few animals and a wolf, I arrived at an interesting looking castle.
So what is this place?
I looked through the whole building, but I didn't find anything that I can interact with except this chair at the top.
I'm really confused. Alright, well, I guess I'll come back here later. I'll investigate the Tempest Gateway, which I'm sure is that all the way down there. I'm gonna need food, man. You know, never thought I'd say this, but I actually wouldn't mind a supply drop right now. Dropping me some grilled or raw meat.
Since the Tempest Gateway was halfway across the map, I had to stock up on a ton of food so I wouldn't starve halfway through the journey. That being said, I started to kill everything that dropped meat on my way back to camp. And once back home, I cooked up all the meat and I looked at my map to see just how far I traveled.
Now, let's go on this. Oh my god, it's gonna be a long journey.
That being said, I headed out on day 69, and I also continued to kill stuff for meat as I went because I would probably need it.
I needed to make a grill on the go. Could I do that? Yes.
After a long journey through the snow, I could finally see where I was actually going.
That's gotta be it.
And once I arrived near the storm, I placed down a crafting bench and then made some planks for the grill. I collected a decent amount of meat while traveling, so I wanted to cook it up before heading in. And I also gave Aura my amber axe as she once again has lost hers. On day 70, all the meat finished cooking, so I grabbed it and then headed into the storm. I assumed that I had to go up a similar path as the storm dungeon I beat before. So I started running around the big mountain looking for an entrance when all of a sudden a whole cannon fell right next to me from the sky.
What? Brother, did y'all not just see a cannon nearly get dropped on me?
But at least I found the staircase leading up the hill, so I followed it all the way up the mountain.
This gotta be it.
And going up to the actual gateway, I had to hold E to investigate completing the quest.
Alright, well I investigated it. Now I just leave? Hold up. I got a question. So if I just stay here and the timer runs out, well, I'm just gonna teleport out of the storm, right? I'd rather do that than run out. So this is where I'm eventually gonna go in and fight the Storm King.
Anyhow, I waited for the timer to hit 0 and I got sent into a rift, putting me back outside the storm.
Okay, yeah, it just teleports me out. That's right. Okay, well, now we've got the very, very long walk back to base.
The journey back to base on day 71 may or may not have included a little bit of killing as well.
Killing all these boys for quick meat. Oh, and there goes my sword.
Anyways, I made it back to the crib, threw all my meat on the grill, and then upgraded the village.
Carl gonna talk to me? Oh yeah.
Long story short, to unlock the Tempest Gateway, I had to go back to the castle that I checked out on day 68, and I had to kill a mighty warrior known as Raven.
So that's where I was earlier.
I opened the rune tome that Carl gave me, and I learned the Storm Purification rune, which slightly refills the storm timer after defeating an enemy.
That's kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie.
On a side note, I was once again running low on storage space, so I grabbed some amber and metal plates and constructed 2 new chests.
Whatever, I don't care that it's uneven.
I wanted to upgrade more of my weapons to legendary before fighting Raven, but to do that, I would need the rift crystals, which could be dropped in the rift dungeons inside the storms. And looking at my map, the closest storm was still too far away, so I decided I would just fight Raven with what I currently have.
I'm confident with the tools I have, I'll be fine. So let's go.
I arrived at the castle on day 72, and this time there was a rift waiting for me on the inside.
This gotta be it. Enter dungeon. Do I have to fight through levels?
The inside looked oddly similar to the dungeon in the storm, but before going further, I noticed that Aura had once again lost her weapon, so I gave her my emerald axe. There was a bit of parkour waiting for me up ahead, and I almost fumbled the very first jump.
Oh my god.
I jumped across into the house and looked around for a bit and then continued back out where a storm dude was waiting for me.
Oh, maybe I can get rift crystals in here. I do be needing those.
I jumped down to the next part of the cave and I killed a few more rift dudes, one of which actually dropped a rift crystal. Anyways, I arrived at another castle at the end of the cave, and inside I spotted Raven minding his own business, so it was time to introduce myself.
That's gotta be Raven. Oh, I missed.
He jumped Aura and killed her almost immediately.
Oh my god, Raven throws dynamite. Aura. He hit himself with the dynamite.
After Raven lost his aura by nearly blowing himself up, he pulled out his sword and started chasing me around his estate. But I was giving him a hard time by dodging everything and shooting him in the face with my crossbow.
Dude, this crossbow is crazy.
He did get a couple of good hits off of me, but it was far too late for that.
Yes, sir.
He perished into a rift and a chest appeared, and I opened it and got another rift crystal, meaning I could upgrade one of my weapons. And on my way out of the dungeon, I killed another storm dude, dropping yet another rift crystal. Anyhow, I built a staircase back up to the starting area and jumped back into the rift.
And we're back just like that.
On my way back, I came across a pack of wolves, so of course I sent them back to their maker. Unfortunately though, some of the meat was lost to a greedy brute coming up and eating it.
Oh my god, you eat it? Whatever.
Back at camp, I looked at the other objectives, telling me to get 10 Eyes of the Storm.
I know I have that many eyes. What?
Anyhow, I made myself a new ruby sword so I could upgrade it. I thought it would have more than 2 rune slots, but I was wrong, so I decided to just turn my already engraved amber sword into legendary. Back to the objective. I had 19 Eyes of the Storm on me, but the quest didn't recognize them for some reason. So I used 100% of my brain power and I did the following.
Okay, hold up. I got an idea. What if I drop him up? Oh, I am him.
Just like that, I spoke to Carl and leveled up the storm camp once again.
Alright, Carl. What do you got for me now?
He gave me a slurp launcher which could heal up allies in battle. But more importantly, I was tasked with now taking down the Storm King.
Oh, wait. I'm supposed to defeat the Storm King now.
Oh. I'm not feeling too prepared for this yet.
I just got into legendary weapons and I just discovered the Lost Isles recently. Okay, well, sounds like we got a lot of work ahead.
I started to sort out my inventory when I read over the Stormfruit Nectar, and it could supposedly heal me up 4 hearts.
What? Hold up. I need to test how effective this actually is.
I ran out to find something that could hurt me. This roller looked promising, except Aura came along and smacked it, scaring it away.
Alright, I'm gonna go get these wolves. They'll hit me. God, these things do no damage. The chest? What?
And Aura killed all of them before they could damage me enough, so I had to look for something else.
Perfect.
I popped one of the nectars, and it did in fact heal me 4 hearts.
Oh my god, these things are crazy. And I have 100 of them, or 80 of them. Alright, well, I'm saving them for the fight. I'm just gonna eat meat for now. Pause.
Going back, I opened up that chest that was just in the middle of nowhere, and I got ambushed by a gang of rift dudes.
Oh, it was their chest.
I got a gem flintlock pistol from it, so I wanted to try something out.
Hold up, I wanna hit a trick shot.
It was close enough. Alright, maybe not, but anyway, I ran back to camp and I made myself a sapphire axe.
Well, this can have 3 runes.
So I put luck, health, and durability on it. I wanted to save my legendary crossbow for the Storm King, so I had to craft myself a new one. I made a cord and a drawstring and then made the sapphire crossbow. I engraved it with the durability, damage, and force runes. And then I also grabbed that ruby sword that I crafted and put a damage rune on it as well.
Okay, so maybe I go to that storm dungeon.
Before going out anywhere, I crafted a bunch more arrows with the feathers that I had. And I also crafted an amber sword for Aura because we all know she loves losing the weapons that I give her.
Alrighty, let's start making our way out to the storm. See if we can't go back in that dungeon and see if more stuff respawn in there.
That being said, I headed out to the storm on day 75.
Oh wait, is the storm back? Definitely is, yeah.
I packed up a couple wolves before loading up my flintlock pistol and launching myself inside.
Sounds pretty useless.
But it wasn't completely useless. I got aggroed by one of those weird one-eyed storm creatures, so I pulled my pistol back out and jumped over it.
My hammer.
I jumped into the dungeon once again, and it has in fact reset, meaning I could go through all the floors once again to farm the rift crystals. So I fought my way through a few storm dwellers and I destroyed the first crystal. Shortly after, I also found the second one, so I shot it before moving on to take care of the rift dudes. After taking care of those, I noticed the third and final crystal hiding in the back, so I shot it and returned back to the start. I got another rune tome, so I read it and unlocked the lifesteal rune.
Lifesteal? That might be good. Oh no, that's crazy. Defeating an enemy heals you a little?
Anyways, I descended into the next level on day 76, and I had to destroy those 3 spawners again. But since I was here to farm those rift crystals, I actually left all the spawners alive and focused on killing all the rift dudes. And farming them also gave me that storm fruit nectar that I needed as well. And everything was going smoothly until Aura died and I got rushed by a storm roller.
Ooh, dude, this thing's killing me. Oh, chat, we might be in the lobby here.
I retreated a bit and munched down on a pumpkin pie. And Aura had also respawned by now, so we made quick work of the other leftover rift dudes. But unfortunately, she then picked a fight with a roller and got one shot. Once Aura was back, again, we killed any remaining rift dudes and rollers together, completing the second wave.
So not much luck with these rift crystals, man.
Anyhow, the next wave began and 3 new crystals appeared, so we got right back to work with Aura. I killed the last few rift dudes, finishing off the second floor, and after opening the chest, I got another rift crystal and an emerald crossbow. On day 77, I entered the next floor where I once again had to destroy 3 crystals. I fought my way through a couple of rift dudes and I arrived at a big open hall where I then found and shot at 2 of the crystals. I then spotted a few rift dudes on the other side of the cave, so I jumped over on the geyser and I built a bridge across.
Oh my god, I still on this.
I got back up thanks to another geyser and I killed a rift guy, dropping me another rift crystal. That being said, the storm crystal was found in the next part of the cave, so I destroyed it and ran all the way back to the beginning to open up the chest.
Okay, so only need 3 more, I think. Oh no, just 2 more. Sweet, because then I'll be able to make 3 more red legendary items.
The tome that I opened also clutched up and taught me level 2 lifesteal.
Lifesteal 2? I didn't know you could get variant. They're like stronger ones. Ooh, no, this is crazy. I need to get a weapon with this.
I jumped down to the next floor and I was greeted by those 3 storm bears again.
Shoot, get rid of this. There's 2 bears on her.
One of the bears then rushed me, and since it was faster than me, I had to improvise a little bit.
Here, check this. Am I him or am I him? Back to the lobby, buddy.
As for the third bear, he didn't mind me at all. He was a pretty chill guy, you could say. Unfortunately, I had to put him down though for the name of progress, so I kind of just beat him up until he got disassembled. I opened up the chest, but I didn't get any rift crystals this time, so on to the next floor we go. I destroyed the first storm crystal. I killed a roller and another rift dude who dropped me a rift crystal number 8.
Oh, okay, 1 more rift crystal. I might as well go through the whole dungeon now at this point.
I then jumped down to destroy storm crystal number 2. And on day 78, I found the last one.
Oh, there it is.
I made my way back to the start and I noticed Aura had once again lost her weapon, so I gave her my amber sword that I just crafted before leaving and I opened the chest, giving me rift crystal number 9.
Well, I got all the rift crystals that I want. Might as well finish this out though. I think I'm about to go fight the boss again.
I did pop out into the boss arena again, so I wanted to see how to actually get down there.
You're supposed to walk. I don't know, walking's for the weak though.
After teleporting above the platform, I noticed a couple of brutes chilling down there, but these weren't no regular brutes. These were storm dude brutes. I got hit by a dash attack and it ate through literally half of my health.
Oh my god, she's already dead. Dad, I might be cooked.
I kept on healing, but since there were 2 of them, I would always get hit right after healing. Aura respawned, so I popped a few nectars and I went to fight one of the brutes with my sword while the other one was distracted. However, it didn't take too long for Aura to be sent back to the respawn screen once again, and for me having to fight both of them on my own.
Oh my god, I'm so cooked.
I got pushed off the platform by one of them, so I teleported back into the sky. And after landing, I was too distracted by one of the brutes spit and I completely got ran over by the other one.
This is tough.
I respawned back at base and I threw some meat on the grill. I then also sorted out my stuff and I wanted to craft a new sapphire sword so I could put the lifesteal rune on it. So I started smelting up some more copper, but I was running a bit low on wood. So on day 79, I went out to farm a few trees. Back at base, I was about to craft a sapphire sword, but I was actually 1 cut sapphire short.
Really?
So I had to go out to the Frostland Caves. I didn't mind going there though, as I wanted to make a whole set of tools using sapphire because it had 3 rune slots instead of 2. So that being said, I headed out to the Frostlands, and after a bit of wandering around, I came across a new cave. And I started looking around and killing the locals, but I didn't see any sapphire nodes on the wall. At least some of the chests did have a single piece of rough sapphire, so I didn't leave empty-handed. Back on the surface on day 80, I looked through my map and I saw 2 caves I came across while running to the Tempest Gateway, so I started heading towards them. A frost bear did notice me though while I was running, and it tried to show dominance by roaring, but that was also its last mistake. Anyways, I arrived at the first cave, so I headed in, and judging by the stairs and an empty chest, it seems like I've already been to this one, but there was still some leftover loot in a few of the chests. Even better, I found a few sapphire nodes in the back, so I built a little platform beneath them and I got to mining. After getting those, I opened up a chest that didn't have too much at all. But the sheer amount of sapphire that I spotted on the wall in front of me more than made up for the lack of loot. With a decent amount of sapphire farmed on day 81, it was time to head back home. However, I first had to actually find the exit as this cave is kind of massive.
Okay, if I could add some constructive criticism to a Lego Fortnite, I think I would definitely like them to make maps for caves because I am lost. And you should be able to map out caves, man. That's what they do in real life, so people don't get lost.
While looking for the exit, I actually came across even more sapphire, so I mined that up, and since I was struggling to leave, I decided to go back to base a bit quicker. After respawning, I threw some meat on the grill and I fired up my gem cutter with the sapphire that I got. On day 82, I made a sapphire sword and I brought it over to the rune forge. I was lucky enough to roll a lifesteal 2 rune on my first try as well. As for the other runes, I chose durability and damage. I then brought the sword over to the legendary forge and I upgraded it. I then fired up my spinning wheel once again and I went out to collect vines for another drawstring. Back at camp, I waited for the cords to finish crafting. I then made a drawstring and crafted a new sapphire crossbow. Just like my sword, I got the lifesteal 2 rune straight away, and I put the damage and durability rune on it as well. I then also upgraded it to legendary. And for my last 3 rift crystals, I decided to craft the sapphire axe. And I got the same runes as before with the exception of durability. I rolled luck instead and then upgraded it. With a new set of tools now acquired for the boss, I wanted to go out on a little side quest on day 83.
Alrighty. Let's go make a visit to that bus station. See what else we can find on this map that might be able to help me for the boss.
Once at the station, I chose to travel to the rebel outpost once again.
Back to rebel outpost. Let's see what we can't get there.
I couldn't really see where I was going due to the dense fog everywhere, but after landing, I noticed shots coming from up ahead, so I ran over to investigate. I came up to some sort of bunker, but I couldn't actually go in it yet.
Code clearance? How does a man get code clearance?
But before figuring any of that out, I had to take care of that brute.
Alright, rebels, took care of that problem for you. Now, give me your code. Assuming it says these boys beefing over here.
I killed all the ops, but none of them dropped anything that looked like a code clearance.
How do I get code clearance? I'm quite confused.
Since brute force wasn't working, I tried asking nicely.
Come on, let me in, please. Let me in. Bruh, how do I get code clearance?
Clearly that wasn't working either, so I consulted my good old friend Google.
Let me do some research. Alright, I think I might be cooked, chat. I don't think I can get in. I think I've got to make a rebel base.
Since I still had no clue how to actually get code clearance, I decided to just head back home. On day 85, I wanted to expand my crib a little bit since it's not gone through any upgrades recently.
I think it's time we expand on the village a little bit because I said I wanted to make it look more like a village, but yeah, it's still not. I've got plenty of space to fill this all in.
I started off by placing down a double shack down near my barns.
That was pretty easy. Let's tear this stuff down. This just looks bad.
For the next build, I chose the so-called roomie shack.
I'm speed running building these houses. It is looking more like a village though, instead of just my camp, I guess. I don't know. Gonna need a lot more of them though.
As much as I was speed running the houses, my wood stocks were also in a rapid decline, so I had to go out there and actually farm some. What I didn't expect for though is an entire army of chickens to fall on my head after I took down one of those bigger trees.
What the heck? Were they in the tree? Y'all saw that, right?
On day 86, I built a little log lookout and I started working on a double dock house just behind camp.
And I'm slapping these boys together. I have a whole village to me or and the other 2 people. I forget their names.
I also tried to improvise a little bit and build something on my own, but being honest, it was not one of my proudest creations.
DIY watchtower. That thing was terrible.
Yeah, I think I'll just stick to the shacks. I slapped down another roomie shack next to the double dock house, but I ran out of wood mid-construction, so it was back to lumberjack duty. Once back, I completed the build. On day 87, I grabbed some wooden rods I had laying around and I repaired the fence I broke when I was testing the vehicles. I also slapped down a couple of log lookouts overlooking another roomie shack in the corner. After finishing that, I noticed one of those glowy butterflies, so I decided to chase it down.
Who are you, bro? Identify yourself. Okay, I'm chasing it.
I popped a couple of tropical smoothies and ran after it.
Oh, it took me to a chest? What?
I got hooked up with a bunch of wood and planks, which I did need at the moment considering my village expansion.
That was kind of cool.
Anyhow, back at the building, there was plenty of space behind my barn, so I slapped down another double dock house. And then, I had to go out and farm more wood.
How are y'all killing a sheep?
I finished the dock house on day 88, and I also wanted wanted to add some details around the houses. There weren't any like path structures, so I had to resort to using fences.
See some of these fences kind of like orchestrate a path. I'm going in here on the like aesthetic building. Need more rods.
I chopped down a few more trees while my rods crafted, and once back, I sprinkled down a few fences here and there around the shacks.
Got a little idea, a little experiment I want to try. You think you can tame those axolotls, the big ones in the Lost Isles? Let me see if I can't find any animal feed. I know I have some left over.
I found 5 animal treats in a chest, so I headed out to the bus station, but I got slightly distracted on my way over. Anyways, I departed to the Lost Isles, and while falling down, I got a bit too close to one of the floating islands, and my glider opened up, so I slowly descended to the ground. While looking for an axolotl on day 90, I came across something called a rift shrine.
What is this? Deposit resources. Red rock slabs. Unseal the shrine. Okay. Where's a man get a red rock? This is red. Who's shooting at me? Oh, Tomato Man.
I took care of the little rascal, and I broke the red rock, which actually gave me what I needed, except that I also had to turn that into slabs.
Oh, I need to make slabs. I need to make a, what is it? A stone breaker. Plank. Granite.
I slapped down a lumber mill and I made a few planks, and I then also got some granite from the rocks nearby. And on day 91, I placed down the stone breaker and I started making the slabs.
Yeah, I think I've got all 3 red rock slabs I need. Confirm.
The shrine started powering up and creating some rift energy nearby.
Oh.
But once it finished, it just spawned a pack of wolves that I had to take care of.
Is all it did was just spawn wolves?
After killing them, it started to spawn something else again.
Is it just gonna spawn more wolves? Oh, chests. Okay. I like chests. Oh, a bunch of loot.
I got a rune tome from the chest, and I unlocked durability 2 from it. It sure would have been more useful a bit sooner, but I'm not complaining.
Alright, time to continue looking for an axolotl.
Instead of an axolotl though, I came across a chest guarded by a few tomato heads, so I wrapped them up and then grabbed the loot.
Oh, look at that. Or a sword to spawn for you. Oh wait, you're dead.
Once she respawned, I gave her the new ruby sword and I continued the search. On day 92, I came across a small group of sheep doing some questionable things.
What is going on? Do I even want to know what's going on? You eating your bro's butt? Okay.
Anyways, I finally spotted an axolotl icon on my radar, so I ran up to it.
Hello, I will pet you. Can I pet you? Yeah.
I threw a couple animal treats down in front of it, but it didn't eat them.
Whatever. Guess I can't tame it. Throwing all my treats at it.
Since that was a complete failure, I decided to travel back to base in sadness.
Okay, I'm gonna farm some wood for the Storm King fight, because who knows, that Loki might need it.
On day 94, I crafted a sapphire pickaxe just so I'd have the whole sapphire set. And since I still had a bunch of sapphire left over, I decided to craft up a couple of swords for Aura, as she would probably need them considering how much she likes losing my really nice valuable swords.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out of essence, but, you know, Aura should be grateful for what I give her, dude. The way she just loses my weapons. Alright, man, I think I'm pretty much ready. I'll take this stuff, I guess. I guess I'll take anything edible.
I also crafted all my feathers into arrows. Who knows how many I need for the fight considering my aim is top tier. Just kidding, my aim sucks. You know that though.
I have so many arrows. This has to be enough. I think I'm ready. Now I just have to make the journey all the way to the Tempest Gateway. Take one last look at the village though. Been a journey. I mean, it's definitely not the greatest looking, but I tried. This is my first time playing Lego Fortnite, so cut me some slack.
Anyhow, it was time to leave our beloved crib behind and go towards the Tempest Gateway. As I was getting closer to the storm on day 96, I swapped out my epic weapons for legendary ones. On day 97, I arrived at the storm, and I was greeted by a few storm dwellers, so I decided to try out my new sapphire sword.
This sword is crazy.
Even crazier was the fact that a whole bear noticed me while my cat was fighting me from my mouse.
Oh my god, cat. Nah, he has my mouse, and there is a bear. Stop. Just stop, kitty.
I took care of the bear and noticed my grill and lumber mill were here before, and conveniently enough, a group of pigs have also wandered a bit too close, so...
Since you guys are here. I think I'll wait until day 98 to go in the storm, just because, not because I'm scared, but like, I'm scared.
Soon enough, day 98 rolled around, and it was time to go in.
Alright, I think it's now or never. Aura does have a sword. Let's go into the storm. Let's go fight the Storm King.
I prepared my torch and the storm fruits, and I actually wanted to give Aura a better sword.
I'm gonna give her the sword. Take the, now which one is it? Come on, let's do this.
I went inside the storm and made my way over to the stairs. Back at the top of the mountain, I used my 10 eyes of the storm to power up the gateway, and it assembled itself, opening up the portal to the Storm King.
Oh my god. Aura, I hope you're ready. Let's do this.
I teleported into a familiar looking arena with a bit less debris flying around.
Oh my god, there he is.
I glided down to the platform and I popped a slap juice.
This is gonna give me extra energy.
2 storm spawners appeared summoning a few rift dudes, so I went over right away to destroy the first one while Aura distracted the ops. However, she did not do a great job of holding them off though.
Aura is already dead.
I backed up a bit and I started shooting the rift dudes, but they were a bit tankier than usual, so I just rushed in to destroy the second spawner instead.
Ow. Yeah, she's back. Okay, where's my other health charm? Put that on.
I popped a couple of storm nectars to heal up and more spawners appeared out of the ground.
Jeez, bro.
After getting rid of those 2, another wave of spawners appeared as well. I guess the Storm King was trying his best to postpone the inevitable.
How many of these do I need to kill, bro? I hope my weapons have enough durability.
After completing wave 3, the Storm King finally appeared for the epic 1v1.
There he is. It's like breaking out. What is going on, dude? Oh my god. He is terrifying. Dude, he is locked on to me. What do I do? Oh my god. He just destroyed the arena.
A bunch of dead trees appeared, so I immediately went in to destroy them. But turns out it was just a distraction as he hit me with a strong blast right after.
Ow! Okay, don't waste my time with those.
I tried shooting at him, but it didn't do anything, but then his weak point appeared.
Okay, I see. That's his weak spot.
It was a bit hard to hit considering how much he was moving around, but I was slowly chipping away at it.
Now.
A couple of shots later, the first weak point got destroyed, and he clearly didn't like it.
Where's Aura? What is he doing? What is he doing?
He placed another spawner down, and a few of those exploding mushrooms also appeared, so I now had to worry about those as well, as if the giant laser shooting Storm King wasn't enough.
Oh my god, this is crazy, dude.
As Aura respawned, the second weak point appeared, so I shifted my focus destroying that instead.
It's gonna be harder to hit. Why do you move so much? Got it. Okay, I think he only has one more weak point, and I'm not really sure what happens. I hope I can fight him with a sword, because Aura is not doing too much.
A couple of new spawners appeared, so I instantly ran over to take them out as well as the rift dudes.
Okay, there's the last weak. It's on his back? How am I supposed to hit this? Okay, what is this attack? Oh, he's just clearing the arena for him. Thanks, man, I appreciate it. Oh, he's on the floor. Got it. Oh, his horns? Oh my god, there's no way I hit this.
Thankfully, he was kind enough to lower his head to the point I could go up to the horn and hit it with my sword.
Aura, help me. He's sticking it right down here for us.
Getting rid of all his weak points and his left horn really made him mad. He started summoning meteorites everywhere and a new wave of spawners appeared as well.
Okay, I can destroy these.
But then another 3 set of weak points appeared.
More weak points? I gotta do this all again to get the other horn? Are you kidding me?
And this one was especially hard to hit because he just kept throwing things at me and waving his hand everywhere.
Dude, I am having a hard time hitting this weak point. Oh my god, he moves at the last second. My aim is just too bad for this. Got it. Finally, dude, that one took forever.
I knew I need a ton of arrows, and that's why I also brought a couple of extra crossbows just in case. Anyways, the next wave of spawners appeared, so I went in to destroy them. Since Aura was not helping too much, I got hit by a laser and a meteor almost sending me back to the lobby.
God, dude.
Those storm nectars really came in clutch.
Got it.
He once again placed down a couple of spawners, so I quickly destroyed them both and then healed back up.
Last weak point, I think I have to get. Oh no, that hurt. One more, maybe? Got it. Okay, the horn.
I rushed in to smack the horn while Aura literally stared off into the oblivion.
Aura, help! It's right here! Brother. Okay, now it's just him. Now I can attack him. Yes, now we can attack him. Aura, I need you to help, bro.
He struck down on the arena once again, sending us both flying and destroying another part of the arena.
Yeah. Oh, no.
More spawners appeared, so I started to get rid of them while also spamming heals and avoiding the endless rain of meteors.
Come on. Kill this. I did not come this far just to die here.
I continued shooting at that big bald Storm King now until he smashed the ground and got stuck. I could now attack him with my sword, and I actually damaged him quite a bit.
Come on. Juice. Did I get him? He still got some health. Did I get him? Surely I got him. Yes. Where's Aura? Oh my god, I did it. Dude, that was so hard. That was actually so hard. Oh my god. Let's see what I got for my efforts. Oh, a sword? Gem musket? Where's that sword at? 15 damage? Oh, this thing is crazy. Can I put runes on it? Doesn't look like it. Aura, dude, we did it. I did it. You did nothing.
A rift appeared that I jumped into, and it threw me back to the Tempest Gateway, except the storm was now gone.
Oh, I cleared the storm. But there's one over there. What? I don't know, dude. I defeated the Storm King. That was what I set out to do, and I did it. Thank you for watching. This has been 100 Days in LEGO Fortnite. Odyssey.
And just to wrap everything up, the LEGO Fortnite gods decided to bless me one more time.
Oh, look at that. Another crappy supply drop to celebrate.